Boom goes the dynamite. We're live at the Galaxy's Edge podcast doing number 2 in our playtest of the Super 6 system with Legionnaire armor on. And once again, I am joined by Galaxy's Edge co-creator, Mr. Nick Cole. How are you, sir?
Good, sir. How about you?
I admit to nothing before the first 4 cups of coffee.
Plausible deniability always works.
Yes. From the Galaxy's Edge podcast, both Discord and from the podcast itself, we have J.R. Handley and Dark Ops Swordfish.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
And then joining us for this second session is the hosts of Babies with Knives, my sister and brother from another mother. We have Brandon and Lala, also known as, is it Doreen this week? Did we come up with other names?
I don't know. You have to ask Mike. Mike isn't around today.
Who are frequent co-hosts on the BAMF podcast, as well as their own show, Babies with Knives, where they dissect some of the coolest RPGs around and then teach people how to play it. So, Nick, could you give us a quick elevator pitch for those who have not played with of what is Galaxy's Edge?
Galaxy's Edge is basically, I think the nicest way that people said it was if Star Wars was written by Hunter S. Thompson. It's basically Star Wars filed, with the serial number filed off. Instead of concentrating on a battle for the Jedi soul, we decided to concentrate for a battle for the Legionnaire's soul, the Stormtrooper's soul, and that's basically it's very military science fiction, heavy emphasis on military. The Legionnaires are the 1% of the 1% of the 1% soldiers in the universe, and they get sent into some really dangerous stuff. They fight in a lot of alien environments, and in the first season, they basically ended up defeating a civil war, and it's got a big backstory. I think there's about 23 novels right now, and people just really, really, really love it. And there's been a big hue and cry for a Galaxy's Edge game, and so we turned to the master, the sensei, Walt Robillard, and
you guys are too kind.
He's walking us through it. Maybe do we want to talk about Nether Ops now or later? Or do you have
No, please go ahead and talk about it because
Nether Ops, what we'll be dealing with today, is a very different group of people. They're basically kind of Legion, but they can also be other services and everything like that. And they are kind of it's if you've ever read a John le Carré novel, that's these guys. It's and ladies, one of the most famous characters in GE started out in Nether Ops, and that's actually the Forget Nothing character, Andine Broxton. She's a total stud. It's a murky, shadowy world. There's not a lot of easy answers, and people either love or hate the people in Nether Ops. If you assume that they're villains, you're probably about 75% of the way there.
Good deal. So today, as it happened last time, we had our Legionnaires that went out and pretty much stopped a plot to poison one of the nearby cities by a group of radical mercenaries that you assumed were being controlled by the Midcore Rebellion. And as the dust clears, we get a second perspective on that. So imagine, if you will, a dark screen. You guys are doing your Nether Ops shadowy stuff. You guys you guys start to receive a message through the holocams, and you get the Legion sword in your various feeds, and you know what's going to happen next. Eventually, the Legion sword, the highlighting goes from blue to red, and you know that it's your in-home interface subverting, slithering, getting that shadowy feel as it starts diving into the LCOM, the supposed unbreakable network that the Legionnaires use. It eventually asks for a backdoor interface ID, which of course you provide. And then after that comes up your own symbol, the symbol for Task Unit Loki, a unit designated to work out on the edge and help matters go in the direction for the House of Legion. And as the screen solidifies and comes up, you get your task commander, and he gives you a kind of like a in other words, pay attention, bruisers. You guys need to listen to this. Attention, Strike Team Echo. This is a mission, change of mission from Task Unit Loki. We need you to proceed to Talek Bazaar on Morrison. Follow the Archer Directorate mercenary cartel asset looking to purchase ingredients for bioagent dispersal on Morrison capital of Selikal. Intercept asset and eliminate weapons dealers selling final critical compound elements. The screen whirls again. You need to provide critical support to Kill Team Terminator on the ground. Take any and all steps to maintain denial of presence on location. Do not engage this kill team. There's a long puff in his cigar as the kind of the wavering image in the background gets all this like this thick acrid smoke. You can hear the tinkling of ice in a glass as he scrolls on to the next screen. Agent Kai, the leader of the Archer Directorate, is actually an agency plant. Do not engage this asset. She is primed for extraction by the Legion kill team. Your primary target is a former Republic Army Major, Dave Treniton. He has knowledge of the bioweapon as well as all contacts who provided the raw substances that they used to put together. Exfil at grid coordinates GX67428849, where 2 Grey Ravens are waiting. Task Unit Loki will deny your affiliation if you are captured or killed. Good fortune, good hunting. And then the screen goes black. You start getting all these coordinates sending you to different locations, unit assignments, targets of opportunity, and as the leader slams his notebook closed and stands up to survey the team, who would that leader be?
Mark
I take
Blaine.
a step back.
That's happened before. It's Mark Blaine, a.k.a. Top Cat.
All right, and what do you say to these
Say
guys?
what?
Anything?
Don't die. That's my motivational speech, people. Don't die.
Don't die.
See, I was expecting my the message. This bucket will explode in 5 seconds.
Yeah. Oh my God. What do you call it? Lala, in answer to your question, also known as Top Cat. You look over to the gentleman who is cleaning off one of your vehicles that you're probably going to use. You guys have a host of grav bikes, as well as a heavily armored sled and several repurposed local vehicles. So one of those local vehicles is kind of like a wheeled vehicle, and you made it look like they just slapped armor on this thing, but it's actually got Nether Ops technology, fuel cells. You guys have holocams. I mean, all sorts of stuff. But you guys have fashioned this into a sleeper vehicle to use at your discretion. And who do we got shining the armor up there?
That'd be me, Strafe. I will be driving so that you can be arriving.
That's fantastic.
You missed a spot on the rear bumper.
Hold up, Nick. Were you a chauffeur back in your earlier days before you were an actor in the army guy?
I have driven.
But the question is, what did you drive? And
Yeah.
looking in the rearview mirror, you can see on a table a guy meticulously taking apart a large bore MCR style modular weapon. Who do we have playing that long distance marksman?
That would be me.
And his name is
John Campbell, aka Gino.
Gina.
okay. Tapping into the LCOM because, of course, they gave you a backdoor in. They aren't kidding when they say the LCOM is unbreakable. However, if you got a guy on the inside to give you guys the keys, you don't have to break in. Who's messing with that laptop?
That would be me. I'm currently reprogramming and re-encrypting our comm earbuds, and I'm handing them out and probably telling Strafe, since he hasn't been introduced yet. Remember, It's not waterproof.
And then we have one guy who's kind of like working over a heavy bag. His movements are sharp. He's crisp and precise, and he turns around to intercept one of the comm beads. Who is playing our fighter?
That would be me. I'm going to be playing Cam Haynes, aka Slasher. I am going to be our up close and personal specialist, and in case things start going sideways, that's going to be my job to clean us up a bit.
Nice.
Okay, so you guys start plugging in your ear beads. You all have glasses or contact lenses. There we go. English. You all have either glasses or contact lenses that allow you to see a heads-up display, so you guys can remain operational with each other, both in the system and outside of it. As you guys power up everything, you hear kind of like a smoky, almost like a lounge singer voice. Good afternoon, agents. This is Nora, and you know Nora is your artificial intelligence tasked with keeping you guys on mission and providing you mission-critical information. And Nora stands for Network Operations and Reconnaissance Algorithm. And she is one of the kind of the principal pieces of Nether Ops kit that if you guys ever fall prisoner or into the wrong hands, you are to make sure that the server here at your home base is promptly destroyed so that Nora doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Are we Nora's devils, effectively?
Yes, pretty much. So she says, we have targets of opportunity present and awaiting just outside of the Kikut Bazaar on the main city of Selikal. Right? So a hologram pops up over a table. The table comes to life with a picture of the bazaar, but the most dangerous part is as your target is being identified by the algorithm, it also identifies a small group of legionnaires being led by a Kublaran asset, and they're coming in through one end of the market. So you guys should probably get a move on.
All right, let's load up and move out.
All right, so you guys mount up into your truck. You guys are doing the thing, and you guys head out to the bazaar.
Yep.
Easy day, windy day. Not too many sandstorms, thankfully.
Only it was yesterday.
Yes. Oh, somebody's been reading. So the whoa. Who's backing up?
happened?
There's an alert going on in the vehicle.
Yeah, you guys.
What'd you do, Strafe? What'd you do?
he bumped into a trash can as you guys
Who
were
let
heading into the
Street
bazaar.
drive again?
All right, so you guys head out to the bazaar. You manage to get into one of the streets where a good amount of the cafes are. The cafes are always busy. There's always something to see, smell, or taste. As you guys enter, you guys are pretty much all dressed in plain clothes, but underneath you have proprietary armor woven and created by Nether Ops to be very, very lightweight. You wear it under your clothing, and it allows for camouflage if you need it. But as you make your way through, you disperse through the crowd. You see the asset that you guys are looking for from the Archer Directorate. He looks like he's tapping around on a high-end cell phone. What do you do? He has not spotted you yet.
Firefly is our comm expert. Can you latch on to what he's doing?
I was looking to do so already. I am looking to hack into his cell phone. Quick question.
Yes.
This is the asset that we are supposed to capture. Or this is the asset that is on our side.
This is the one that you are supposed to be following to meet with whoever's selling him the raw materials for the bioweapon that they're working on.
Fantastic. I would like to hack into his system then.
Okay. Go for it.
Okie dokie.
So you have technology, and then you have
Network
drones
intrusion at 5 die.
All right. So give me 5d6 and keep the highest 3.
Oh my lord, I rolled bad. Wow, I rolled really, really bad. That is a 6 out of those 3. I rolled
Ouch.
3 ones.
So
Go ahead.
can I make a move to help her?
You're going to have to wait a few minutes because whatever he was doing, he closes the lid on his cell phone and thrusts it into a pocket, finishes the rest of his coffee, and then he gets up.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
So I don't have stealth, but I've got streetwise, so I want to be using the streetwise basically to continue on his trail without getting noticed.
Okay.
Try and follow, using the crowds to blend in and such like that.
Okay. Give me streetwise, and you need a 6 to do this, so that he doesn't spot you.
Is he with,
That's an 11.
Excellent. What's that?
is he with anyone?
Nope. He was sitting down at the cafe. He was drinking a coffee. He finishes his cup, closes the lid on his cell phone or his comm device, and then stands up and starts walking through the crowd. Looks like he's heading toward away from the bazaar, kind of like where the warehouses are. What are the rest of you doing? Anything, or are you guys just kind of stalking and waiting?
I'm stalking and waiting, keeping
So
my eyes open.
Campbell and Firefly are going to follow Slasher, and I'm going to take Strafe, and we are going to use. I have investigation as a skill, and we're going to go into the cafe and see if we can find anything out from the baristas and/or that he might have left behind.
Okay.
Because it could have been a drop location.
All right. What do you do when you go up to the counter?
So I was actually sending Strafe to talk to the barista because he's got the gift for the gab, and I was going to use my investigation skill where he was sitting.
Okay.
He
The
should
first
need
thing-
coffee.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to burn my presence for 3D on the barista, and I'm going to flash some bogus ID that I always keep.
Nice.
And I'm going to say I need to see her surveillance system.
He just sits there and he looks at it and he's trying to figure out what it is, and he goes, "What is this? What are you showing me?"
I'm with. That's when I'm going to burn my presence and say I'm with the government, and I need to do some security procedures real quick. We're doing surveillance on a person that's been frequenting your cafe and is a known terrorist.
He's oh my goodness. Let me have a 6 or higher for that presence roll.
On 3d6, G 6 or higher. What did I get?
Too easy. A 10.
10. Yes.
Excellent.
Okay, and then does he give me access?
He looks at you and he goes, "Oh, terrorists, very bad, very bad, very bad for business. They make a big mess and they never tip. You come with me now." He's like ushers you into the back. He's like, "Shh, no, very, very quiet. Go back there. You see room to the right. You go in there now."
Okay. I'm going to burn awareness vision at 4D to see if I'm walking into a trap.
Okay, go ahead. You're going to need a 9 or higher.
12.
Oh, nice. So, yep, you got it. And yes, you are definitely walking into a trap. So you walk into the back of the building. The buildings in the bazaar on this side are definitely not Duracrete. It's some sort of adobe with some of the local stone. They got these really thick, heavy blankets that kind of keep the air conditioning and the on one side and the bugs out of the other. And as you're walking in, as you're walking down that hallway to the room he starts talking about, you hear the tinkling of equipment, like weapons, maybe somebody with a holster that's not secured properly, but you definitely hear like heavy gauge steel hitting a table. And when look, what's that?
I'd say before he got too far out of sight, I wanted to use my investigation to check the table because I was going to follow him if there was nothing there.
9 or higher.
All right, so investigation for me is 3D. I got a 7, so I didn't notice anything.
He's got an empty coffee cup. I mean, it's very empty.
Coffee-like?
Yeah, and coffee-like.
All right. So then I'm gonna follow Strafe, but keep my distance.
Okay.
So the barista doesn't know.
Okay. You get to the carpet, kind of like the heavy drapery that's separating the wall, the doorway. What do you do?
Are you
Oh,
asking
no,
me straight now?
it's for Nick.
Oh, okay. Pop a micro banger and toss it in, and follow my medium blaster in.
Ooh. Okay, so the normal grenades that the Legionnaires use are pretty big. They're sizable. They're about the same size as like a normal M67 grenade.
Right.
These are small. They're like really small. They're a little bit bigger than like a D-cell battery, and that's it.
Okay.
So they're made to be concealed in clothing. So you throw that in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's like a powering up, and you hear like all sorts of commotion, like look out, throw it, and then there's a loud pop. The earbuds that you guys are wearing protect you from sound like that, so you are obviously not affected by the banger's effects. What do you do?
Enter with medium blaster in one hand, and I'm assuming my multi-tool, because I'm a vehicle guy, is either kind of like a crowbar or a Halligan tool, like something to work with, and that in the other hand.
Right on. And you hear the micro banger go off. JR, what do you do?
Since I was following discreetly, I will have walked up on the barista in question, and I'm going to take him out.
All right, so just so that you know, there's on the inside of the cafe, it's very busy. So if you blow away somebody out here, you're going to cause a huge panic. And so Slasher, Sin, and Gino are outside, and you guys are hearing this over the comm beads, so you know what's going on.
Yeah.
So is there any way... Okay, so first off, positioning then. Where was the barista once I got up to him? Was he close to the hanging sheets that provided the doorway?
He was at like the countertop.
Walt, do
Yes.
we actually have a image so that we can see of what the layout looks like? Because all I see is the ending of the briefing.
Yep, I can give you one of those, not a problem. But it's pretty straightforward. It's the restaurant's just a box with a bunch of tables, and then a single hallway leading from the back left. So if you can imagine that, it doesn't require too much craziness. But I will get that up for you. Now, what are you guys doing? Are you still following your asset into the street?
Am I hearing this in the street? Is my question. Go ahead, Alice.
Okay, but answer Brandon's question, but I have a play I'd like to try.
Okay. You don't hear anything as far as like the explosion. You know the micro bangers are pretty quiet, and you need to get them within about 15 feet of people, as opposed to like the 15 yards that like a normal grenade will throw. So even though they're small and concealable, they're also not as powerful as the standard bangers and fraggers that the Legion uses. However, you know that because that they went off because you can hear all the headsets, all the sound and noise and everything, feedback. That all cuts out.
Yeah, I'm okay with if I'm hearing it over headset. I'm more worried about the person I'm tailing right now having heard it, and therefore, kind of realizing that something's going on. So I'd like to be there, but I'm gonna keep going with what my part at the moment and follow the guy.
So the play that I want to try, I've got Streetwise and I've got Sleight of Hand, especially for palming. We are in a bazaar, so at this point I am going to essentially shoplift a couple disguise pieces, so sunglasses, scarf, etc. Change my appearance, change Brandon's appearance, and I am going to suddenly pretend I am a belligerent, drunken tourist, and talking to my boyfriend as we are I'm going to try and do a brush pass and leave a tracker on his clothes.
All right, so you're gonna tag the guy.
Yes.
All right. So give me let's see, where are you?
They said it was down that way. It was see, look, the map says right here. You are taking us the wrong way again. This is why it totally so difficult to travel with you.
Please take a competency die for that. Let's see. I just want to see stats real quick.
So I've got 46 on palming. Keep 3, obviously.
Yes, please.
Awesome. 11.
Awesome. So yeah, you guys bump into the asset, and he looks startled, but he doesn't look like he's.
Oh, so sorry. So sorry.
He just waves to you. He looks like a local. He doesn't look like exotic or maybe like visiting or tourist or anything. There's not a lot of tourism here. It's mostly there's a couple of minerals that are used in industry that the Republic has kind of taken over possession of the planet for, but not really anything that would draw in like huge crowds. So
Okay.
to have a tourist or something like that would be not unusual, but not common either. And he definitely looks like like he's a local.
Okay. Yeah. And, brush past and move on. Just, make sure, minimal sight of my face. I've already pulled on that disguise and all. And just, turning away from him. So sorry. And just keep on moving. But brush
Absolutely.
tag.
Yep. All right. So what do you guys do? Do you guys start heading back toward the cafe?
Make sure the tracker is functional. And at that point, we can head back to the cafe because I can track him.
Yep. It is functional.
Awesome.
I'll drop back a bit more, but I still want to stay with him to get because when he meets, we might have to act.
True.
Gotcha.
I want to actually go back to the cafe for something else first, though. So I'm going to go back to the cafe because I need to do something before we go.
All right.
What's Gino doing?
Yeah. What's Gino doing?
I was reassembling my rifle, and I was just gonna sit on top of the vehicle and just kind of keep an eye on the area and make sure nobody's trying to screw with us.
All right, so in the back of where you guys are for the little room that you went into, Nick, there are two men in there, and they are back like this with arms up, trying to shield faces. We got one guy bleeding from the ears. It wasn't a very big room, and it does look like it had security surveillance, but it looked like that's all it was. It was basically a repurposed closet. What do you do at this point?
Is my blaster silenced or suppressed?
You have a silenced blaster, yes.
Okay, I'll waste both of them.
All right. Go ahead and give me some rolls.
Let's see. On shooting, I have 2D. So I'm not a great shooter, am I?
You're better than most. Most people have a 1D. You've probably seen a lot of time at the range.
Okay. This is a desperate situation. I have survival of 3D. Can I add that?
No.
Okay. Nice try, Nick.
I don't judge.
I don't judge. Okay, so 2D.
You could use your competency dice if you remember.
Do I have a competency dice?
You should have two.
You got two base ones.
Okay, then I will add one.
All right, so go ahead and roll 3D. Keep them all.
As his leader, can I add a competency dice to his marksmanship?
I don't think
if you had said that earlier, yes. However, because you have the leadership attribute, advantage, so you would have been able to do that. However, a 15 is a damn skippy good roll. Holy crap. All right, so as you're approaching the back and you kind of, JR, and you kind of start to roll by the proprietor, he's like, "Excuse me, who are you? What are you doing? Why are you trying to go in the back?"
So I am going to use my. How close am I? Would I be able to pull him discreetly with me? If I put my arm over his shoulder and just sort of muscle him back like we're old buddies talking?
Absolutely.
All right, so I have athleticism and presence. Can I use two at once, or I only get to use one?
One.
All right, so I'm going to use my leadership presence of a 5D and convince him that he wants to come with me.
Okay. What do you got?
20. Oh, all six is 18.
All right. So he's like, "Oh,
roll for
what's that?"
Roll for exceptional strength.
Yeah, exactly. He looks at you and he's like, "Oh, you're with the other guy," and he makes a like he's trying to hide it, even though he's facing everybody in the room, and he's like pulling like a small little bow, like the smallest little bow in the world. Trying to tell you you're like with the archer guy that just left.
Absolutely. He sent me to check on you.
He goes, I think, sir, we have one of the government man went in the back, but I think he okay. We take care of it. It's very good. You'll tell Nasia that we take care of it. We good friends to the archers.
All right, I'm gonna keep leading him back to the back. Let's check on your security.
Yes, very good, very good. He waves to one of the not one of the patrons, but one of the people serving tea and coffee in the shop to take over the table, and he walks to the back with you.
And I've updated JR on both targets in the back eliminated. I'm cracking into their security system to try to get a look at what the guy was doing on his phone.
Okay, and as you guys are starting to meet up, the other three are walking back into the cafe.
Nope. Other two, Slasher stayed with the target.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I would.
And
I
no,
drop back a little bit, but I'm sticking, that I can respond basically, because when stuff happens, it might happen quick.
And Chino is still on the Vic.
Yep.
And I'm mumbling to myself with my comms off. Never send men in for a women's job. I'm going to hack into the security system while they're bumbling around back there.
I gotcha. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
You need to get into their security system. You need a 12 or higher.
Sure thing. I'll burn a comp die.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Actually, once you save that comp die if you want to, and I'll add my technology.
Oh, sure. That sounds great.
Yeah.
And I'll just roll 5d6, and you can add your tech to me.
Let's see.
As a side note, Jesus Christ, that one patron.
Yeah, he's seen better days.
Or 15.
Don't judge.
I definitely make it.
What is it? You got a 15?
I got a 15
Okay.
for his tech die. So.
Okay.
All right. So you get into the base. Kind of like the lowest tier of the security system, and the first thing that hits your brain is, oh crap. So you guys, you and Nick, JR, are in the back room. You pull aside the curtain, and there's 2 dead guys in there.
I imagine the barista is not going to be too happy, but I've got my hand on my trusty carbonized knife in case he gets a little frisky.
He looks at you. He goes, "Oh my goodness, this will not do. You kill him." And he basically points to you, JR, and then points to Strafe. He's like, "You kill him before he gets, shooty."
Nick had something to say. I'm sure he's got a good one-liner to come back with. And then I am going to use my athleticism for 2D, and I'm going to shove the barista towards Nick.
Okay. Go for it.
So Nick can have some fun too.
Good. I would like to use my athleticism to catch, turn, and put in a chokehold.
All right.
I got a 5.
You needed a 4 to push him because he was going to try and dodge out of the way. He did. You get the 5, so he loses his balance and stumbles into the room by tripping over one of the dead bodies. Nick, go ahead. You need a 5 or higher.
Okay, 3d6. Bloop. What did we get there?
13.
Outstanding.
Take it.
All right. So as he falls, you manage to get his shoulders and give them a spin, taking the center of just above your elbow and placing that where his trachea is, getting both sides of those arteries. And as you start to squeeze, it's not even 3 seconds before he passes out.
Sweet.
I don't see it on our equipment list, but do we have any Duracuffs?
No, but you got zip ties.
Yeah, let's zip tie him all hug style.
Do you leave him on top of the other bodies?
Sure. I thought we might question him a little bit. I'm sure we got some smelling salts. We can bring him back.
All right. So while you're, zip cuffing and doing everything, Slasher, you see your friend who you're still trailing. you're about half a street back because of the fact that you now have a tracker on him. There's a.
I want to at least try and be able to, eyes on, but I don't need to be right up on him.
Okay. There's a weird wobble in the tracker in your vision in the HUD, right? And all of a sudden it sprints like crazy.
I curse as that happens, and I am gonna pick up pace. Try and see if the tracker is still lining up with where he is.
You can't see; he's like blended in with the crowd, so you were kind of like half a street back, tracking him through the tracker, but close enough to where if something happened, you could rush. So he just took a side street.
All right, I want to run up and try my awareness just to see if he is still with it. So I'll burn a comp die when I get eyes on him.
All right. So yeah, that's a good roll. So 3. Yep.
Which the comp die helped. That was the 6.
So you get to the part where you kind of lost him. It's a small intersection. There are people, moving about, going about the daily routine, and you notice the guy you're supposed to be now. You in your HUD, he should be like 3 streets over, and he's moving erratically. He's doing one of those things where it's going up a street, then stopping. It circles for a minute, then goes to another street, and then repeats and goes back to the first street. So it's very erratic in the motions. But then you turn and look, and the guy that the tracker is supposed to be on is in an alcove leading into an apartment building, and he's like looking around the street.
Okay. Has he spotted me already?
There's more than just you on the street.
Okay.
So he's kind of like glaring at everybody.
Yeah. Just kind of find a place that I'll be out of sight or at least out of mind while I'm able to watch him from there.
Okay. There's a small restaurant across from where he is.
Yep.
All right.
That's where I'll go ahead and head into that.
All right. Nick, JR, and Gino, where are you? Did you go back into the restaurant with Firefly?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and follow along.
All right.
So we had hogtied the barista, the establishment owner, and we were going to bring him around and see what questions we could ask. Does anybody have like interrogation technique?
I'd like to break into their security system first. Maybe Firefly could do that, and then the main thing.
Security system. But I was told, oh crap, and then he cut, so I've been on cliffhanger. Okay. I'm already in their system.
Yeah, she's already in the system. When you call her,
don't send boys in for a woman's job, and I got a 15.
When you call her, the first thing you hear is, "Oh crap." Sin, you have a sense that you just stumbled into what looks like either a Dark Ops or a Nether Ops communications node. So it has the same kind of architecture that you guys use.
Okay.
So what do you tell him? Anything?
We have a counter team. This is an HQ. This is a front HQ, not a cafe. I'm getting into their network now, but this is not.
Did we just step on other people's toes?
Could you look at their local security system inside the cafe and try to CSI what the guy was doing on his smart device?
Working on it. I'm still working on that. So I'm continuing to dig around. Is this counter team good guys on our side or against us? Basically, is the first thing I want to know. And I'm still trying to get into the full system and try and see what he was doing on his camera, on his phone and such. But I want to basically be gathering intel, and also I want to be building a backdoor and dropping a Trojan onto the system.
All right. So
Or I can gather.
it has the same architecture
Hmm.
that you guys use. So either somebody's giving sharing toys on the playground,
Hmm.
or you guys have stolen tech on your hands.
Okay.
So, but now you're into the system. So now you have control of the system. It's
Hmm.
just that you're going to have to be careful because they one wrong move and they'll be able to detect you in there. That's the kind of architecture this is.
Okay.
So, as you said, the leader earlier, the assistance you can give. How does that work?
So you have an attribute called leadership.
Correct.
So how many competency dice do you have?
I have presence, comma leader 5D, and
No, no, no,
then
no,
I
no.
have
How many comp dice do you have? Should be top right hand corner, right underneath your name, underneath the armor.
let me see. I'm not seeing that.
It's on the right hand side above success track.
I have base comp die 2D.
Yep, that's what I needed. All right, so you have that. So during dust ups, altercations, things that go on in the game, you can make a roll, and if you succeed, you can add that die to your friend's roll. So you can basically it's like a free assist that he can roll.
I can only do that twice though.
And
'cause
it's
I
only
have-
temporary, right?
Yeah, so it's temporary for that thing. So you can give like inspirational speech, or like all Captain America on top of the car in the first movie. So you can do like one of those, and then he gets basically you can give him your competency dice.
All right, then let's do that. So I am going to roll. Was it? I said 2D, so 2D6.
Yep. Well, no, you're gonna. Are you going to use his? Are you going to give him a comp die?
Yes.
All right, so you don't have to roll for that. So, dear Lord. So Nick, he's giving you a comp die. What do you do?
Perfect. I am going to go ahead and try to see what I can see on just like, not their necessarily security system, but the cafe's security system, and try to look at what that guy was working on his phone.
Their security system only has a small record of what. Oh, go ahead, roll. You got to do technology.
I do. I have to keep
I'm
switching.
going. I'm in their system, so please let me know if I detect anything with what he's doing, and I'll call it on comms.
Gotcha.
I have 3D for technology, so he adds what?
He adds. He gave you a competency dice, so now you got 4. Take the highest 3. So that would be.
So that'd be 15.
15. Yeah. So you have a snippet of a message fragment going through between him and a contact that was set up through the cafe, and it's an address for a warehouse about half a click from here.
Nice. I will tell the rest of the team that.
We have a bigger problem. This tech's either been stolen or we have a leak in our agency. We're not stepping on toes. This group is working counter to us and using our tech.
Let's
disable it now.
assume leak because we were informed already of another operation in the area. So we really should be informed about everybody in the AO. And it's best to proceed that we're proceeding with something that the leak instead of assuming that it's another operation. But I give that to the leader. How do you want to roll, Top Cat?
So we can't leave this floating around in the bad guys' hands. That's just we won't be able to sleep at night. So as your leader, I'm telling you, we need to KTF this comm system. So I'm going to ask all of my tech nerds to do your thing and wiggle your fingers and scratch the synapses of this computer and crash the system.
Already trying to take it apart. Their AI is reinforced, and if either of us make a wrong move, everyone on their side will be alerted.
Hey, Top Cat, question for you. We got these dead bodies here in this barista should we try to cover up the bodies with like a incident that happened in the kitchen or something like that?
That's an outstanding idea. Why don't you handle that?
Okay, I'll go into the kitchen and I'll start messing with the propane lines and stuff like that. Basically, get something set up so that when we get out, it can start a fire in the kitchen and people can get out of the cafe.
And you've got a flare, so if you want to, rig a goodbye boom.
So as you walk back there, there's another guy about the same, maybe a little younger. He's got a baseball cap on backwards. He's wearing what looks like kind of like a sports team jersey, and he looks, and he's putting together a plate of food for somebody, and he looks at you and he goes, "Oh no, bathroom out there, you go."
He's Chip, the innocent bystander.
Chip the innocent bystander. I
Sometimes
walk
you gotta-
up to him and I put my arm around his shoulder and I say, "Hey, I think you should take the rest of the day off." And I slip him a couple credits.
This is my brother's cafe. I can't just leave.
Your brother said it's okay. Trust me on that. And I'll let me see what I'll use my streetwise to
Try and bluff him.
my 3D. Yeah.
All right, you need a 6.
Oh yeah, I got that. I got a 11.
All right. He goes, "You sure it's okay?"
Yeah. It's fine.
Flip him some more
Trust
credits.
He goes,
Yeah.
He goes, "I still keep this."
Yeah. You good? Go party.
You're with the.
Yeah. Head on. Trust me, man. It'll be good. Have a good day.
You bring you here. He hands you the plate. That's table 2. You go.
All right. Yeah. I'll take it. I'll take it over at table 2, and I say, "Hey, don't worry about this. You guys don't have to pay for it. Just head on out.
All right.
Compliments of the house."
All right. So you. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. You are right there, lower left, coming out, and then you go to table 2, where that big heavyset dude is. And he looks pretty excited that you're going to be going over. That you're coming down with his food finally. What are you guys doing in the back room other than crashing the security system? Do you wake up the guy?
Firefly had a question.
Hit me.
I don't want to crash the system yet. I want to do something else first. I have a data slate. I wish to utilize that data slate to reprogram their version of Nora to basically create a new set of authentication features.
All right, so you're going to try and pirate the system?
Yes, I'm pirating the system because we still don't know critical information that's on their system and what they're doing. I'd rather crash it after we have intel. I think.
Do you have anybody helping you?
So I have the advantage of leadership for 2D, and I have 2D technology. How would I assist her other than just giving her the competency die?
Well, you can give her the competency die from your advantage and just have her get an extra die. Or you can try and assist her using a roll, and then every time you get a 6, that's an extra die. What's that?
You give me an extra die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to assist with technology, which is 2d6. I've got... Ooh, yeah.
3
You
and
got
3.
6, that's 1 die.
Go for it.
3, 16, 16 after keeping only 3. So yeah.
Ooh, nice. All right, so you start working on the system and start pirating the system. Slasher, you see after a few minutes of the guy standing inside that alcove of kind of like watching people, he finally gets whatever courage he has. He types something up on his smart device, throws it back in his pocket, and starts walking in the direction of the warehouse that you guys just got information of where he was heading.
Okay. The tracker is still on him though?
The tracker does not appear to be
what-
on him. The tracker is moving very erratically, but it's coming back toward you, and he's moving away from you.
Okay. And how's the cafe?
It's swimming. I got it. We're good.
No. I meant the one that I ducked into.
It's not
Oh,
bad.
okay.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. Okay. I'll remember it.
It wasn't as good as the one they're in right now, but pretty soon it'll be the best in the city.
So
4 out of 5 on Yelp.
I do have a quick question for Firefly. How did you get the roll X number of D6 and then keep the top 3?
As you see, it's in the code. It's KH. So roll 6d6, keep highest KH3.
Yeah. So how do you type that?
So when you're typing it, just type when you're rolling slash roll space, and then you're typing 6d6 KH3 or XDX, whatever dice you're rolling, KH, and then the dice that you want to keep, no spaces.
Oh,
You can do KL for keep lowest, KH.
There you go. Yeah, you got it.
nice. Look at that, you guys. See, this is
I
why
like
you bring
got the
baby.
right person as the hacker.
I like pushing the roll button.
This is why
That's what I'm doing. I go over to the left, click on the number of dice, and then use math.
This is why you bring on the babies with knives, because they
Which is the
dissect.
coolest name ever.
Which is the coolest name ever. At the end of the show, we'll let her and Brandon tell about how that name came to be. All right, so you guys are in the back. Firefly tells you that she's starting to co-opt the network that they're using. What are you guys doing with the barista?
We're going to try to, while they're doing that, I'm going to try to wake him up and see if I can intimidate him into giving us more information, because it doesn't matter if he talks or not, because the building's going to go bye-bye.
So he does wake up, and he is petrified. You guys sandwiched him in between 2 versions of Weekend at Bernie's, so he knows that he's in a lot of trouble, and he knows you're not with the Archer Directorate. He's just begging for his life, basically.
So the only way you get to live is if you talk. And if I think you're lying, you join your friends over there for a nice nap.
He goes, but how do I know you will let me go?
I come over to Top Hat and I say, let him know that we let his brother go with a day's pay.
We let your brother go. He gave him a day's pay to prove our goodwill, and I'm going to use my leadership presence for 5D and convince him that he wants to talk. It would behoove him to tell us what we want to know.
All right, hit me.
I got a 12.
Nice. He goes, I tell you what I can, but you must take the cuffs off.
Talk first.
He's Italian.
Yeah, pretty much. What do you want to know?
So everything you got on the Archer Directorate.
They show up. They use my place. They give me money.
All right, Strafe, I understand that before you were Nether Ops, you had a little bit of a side hustle with the mafiosa, so I understand you speak his language.
I do. Did one of the 2 dead guys have a blaster on them?
They both had blasters.
I pull that blaster and then I stick it into like a muffled pillow and pull the trigger twice.
To on him or on the?
No, just to show that it's been fired twice. And then I pull the blaster back and I start wiping it down with a cloth. And I go, here's how this works. You tell us everything, or we're going to knock you unconscious and we're going to place you in the street after your restaurant burns down with this used blaster that killed those 2 guys.
That's creepy. Oh, that's creepy. Please take a competency die for that.
Yay!
He just, his eyes go wide the longer you're explaining it. And he's like, look, all I know, this man, he comes in, he uses the network to spread his directions. I make the coffee, he finishes the coffee, it takes long enough to get directions back, and then he goes. They usually leave security here for when they do drops. There has been no drop today. They drop later, maybe. Not drop every day, please. I just want to go. I did not see anything. I swear.
Okay, I'll cut his zip ties, and I'll say, "Do you have a car or transportation?"
Not here. Walking distance to my home.
Okay, you can't go home. You got to leave the city. And if I see you in the city, you're a dead man.
This is a fair deal. He stands up and he's got his hands up and he's like doing that thing where he tries to shimmy like in between the both of you, And he's like, you will not see me. I go.
Good. Go.
Uh,
You knew I'm serious.
yeah, I know. I goodbye. And he's out of there. So you guys see a guy come from the back, and he's looking like he's trucking his way toward the front door. What are you guys doing? You guys checking the bodies? You checking anything else?
I'm going to head over to the counter for the cafe, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, uh, sorry, buddy, we gotta close the shop down. But anything that you guys see in this display, it's yours. Just let me know. I'll grab it for you." I just start handing out donuts.
Little pastries and stuff.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to
Top
send
that,
a
I
message
think we
over to the comm, and I'll be like, Gino, they won't miss any of these credits. So let's slip that in your pocket. We're going to have a little bit of a steak dinner, a little bit of donuts for Strafe later, the good stuff, not this crap he's giving away here. And then we're gonna make this place go boom. And then once I do that, I'm gonna check the bodies. I'm gonna use my investigation.
So on the comms, when I'm hearing they're going to make the place go boom, I'm going to the server that I'm dealing with, that I'm intruding into. It's on site, isn't it?
It appears to be.
Okay, I will tell them on comms. The second we make this go boom, before I take complete control of the system, whoever is against us will know. I need just a few more minutes before you can make this place go boom. I'm still taking over the system.
All right, we'll wait for that, and then I am going to investigate the dead men and see if they tell tales.
No ID. They are wearing like level 2 style armor. Excuse me. So like it might stand up to like a light blaster, but some of the carbines you guys are carrying, it would shred this stuff right through. And the weapons are fairly inexpensive. It doesn't look like they were maybe high in the organization. But the one thing you do know is that the what do you call it? The linings of the jackets feel a little strange, and as you probe around, they have small credit chits sewn into the lines of the jackets, but they look strange. Normal credit chits are kind of like really tiny credit cards. You can pass them over each other for transactions. You can hand them to people, but these are a little bit strange because it looks like they fit together, and it doesn't look like it has an RF signal that it'll send out, so that it's contact only before you can transfer anything.
So I will use my investigation, and that is 3d6. I got a 12. So can I figure out more about these credit slips?
Not until you plug them in. Your best bet is going to be Firefly.
All right, then I'm going to take them to Firefly and hand them to her.
All right, so everybody is inside the cafe except for Slasher, who is still following your asset to the warehouse.
Correct.
Right about the time you guys all gather into the room, you get a signal from your Nora saying that you're about to gain full control of the system. So what do you want to do?
Once we gain full control of the system, I'll take my data slate and basically wipe their version of it. I've now taken it onto my system and wipe their system, and then I'll tell the group, okay, now we can burn the place.
All right, so you start making clones of different pieces of information packets and stuff like that, and as that happens, your Nora pops into your feed. So what does your Nora look like when she shows up inside your HUDs?
Like Ada.
So you get Ada popping up, and she says, "Excuse me, Firefly, I'm very sorry to intrude on all the death, mayhem, and destruction you guys are about to rain on the local environment. However, you should know, we have a counter-slicer who is attempting to infiltrate our network, and it appears that if you don't act fast, we will be compromised."
I will immediately react, and I will immediately react and start hacking, going into our system and slicing back and tracing him and trying to basically boot him from the system.
All right, so you
I'm
need
gonna
to.
throw her. I'm gonna throw her my last remaining competency dice.
Okay, she needs a 17 or higher.
Oh boy. Okay.
Anybody else gonna be able to help, or is it too late?
No, if somebody's got technology or a way to.
I can help.
I'll
I've got
blow-
3D and competency. Or
Technology?
Technology.
I'm
Let me
gonna
know.
roll
Just
technology
give me
to
a second.
assist as well. I got an 8,
I would
so
like
I didn't get to it.
So you gave me 1 die. I'm going to.
well, hold on a second.
Yep, I'm still holding. I'm going to blow my extra one that you gave me. So, because I mean, if we need that high, I'm going to roll.
Yeah, none
Nick
for
had
me.
a question.
Let's resolve this, and then I want to ask Nora a question.
Gino, Gino, how many dice did you give me?
I wasn't able to give you any. I rolled 4D and I didn't hit any 6s.
Oh,
What about
no,
your
no, no.
competency dice?
Add them together. You add them together, and for every 6 totaled, you give me. So
Ah.
roll.
Oh, then I gave you 2.
It's a mistake that people get. You don't have.
Oh.
It's not on the 6 on the die, but all as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you roll over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You roll over.
Okay,
so I have 3D technology. So
well, how could you lie to me?
how about 2 dice from me?
So you got 2 from me, 2 from Stray,
And 1 for me.
and 1 from.
Okay. So then I got the comp dice. So I got total. Okay, so 6. So that is going to be 12 dice that I'm rolling, and keep 3. There's the 18.
Oh my
I'm
god!
sorry. Did you just say you're going to roll 12 dice, but only keep 3 of them?
Yes.
Hey,
Dear Lord. So, you get a. I mean, there is a very nasty slight. I mean, you're watching this guy code, and like, if you're Da Vinci, he might be Van Gogh. You know, I mean, it's one of those things. So,
Cut his ear off.
yeah, you cut his ear off just in time before he counter sliced you and started taking over your Nora. But you managed to boot him out of the system right before you guys log out. And you got quite a bit of information. Are you making sure that the building has an accident?
Yep.
Before we do that, Nick had a question for Nora.
Hit me.
Nora, is the counter slicer? Are they local or in the network? Are they operating by Wi-Fi? Can you give us some?
That would be the question for me, not Nora,
Okay.
because that's the information I was tracing, which Walt hadn't gotten to yet.
Okay.
They're in the Firefly knows, and Nora can answer as well. They're in the area and in the network, but they're not wireless. They're patched in, wired. So somewhere they're hard lined in.
Okay.
So during the counter hack, I specifically mentioned when I was booting him that I was tracing him. Can I have a pinpoint on his GPS?
He's 2 buildings over in an apartment.
Okay, I'll pop that location up on the HUD. He's right here.
Aha.
Control
So,
Ops, is the cafe clear?
Yeah, everybody's out.
All right, so shut the door, flip the sign, head back to the kitchen, go back to setting up the kaboom booms.
Here's what I would suggest, Top Cat. Why don't we move on the warehouse, and Gino and I will pull a drive-by on the apartment.
All right, so we're gonna delegate and split again.
Well,
Gino,
we're gonna send you and Firefly to link up with Slasher.
correct.
It's the recon of the warehouse. Meanwhile, we'll eliminate the counter slicer.
Let's make it happen.
You're gonna need me with the counter slicer. I'm gonna need his rig. So why don't we change that up?
Roger, Roger.
Because he's hardwired in. I want his rig.
Okay.
All right. Well, the tech lady has spoken, so let's make it happen.
All right, so who's going with Slasher?
Gino, you're gonna go link up with Slasher and provide his guns should he need them.
Okay. Do I need to roll anything for setting up the kitchen, or are we good?
No, you're good. I'm pretty sure you can click the end of a flare. So as you guys are walking away, the pleasant smell of mayhem starts wafting across the boulevard. Eventually, as you guys, because of your professional because of your professionalism and the way that you guys operate, you never walk out together. There's kind of like always this trickle, and you kind of disappear amid the crowd. Little things like stopping to pick up like a dropped quarter or something like that. Never seeming in a hurry. There's all this little tradecraft that goes into you guys vanishing into the crowd and becoming just one with the masses. As people start pointing and screaming, they can see like flames starting to come up from the cafe. One of the fuel cells in the kitchen catches and detonates the building. Shooting an immense amount of rock in all directions. People are, like, oh man, tons of screaming, and you guys are just like, wow, that sucks. I hope they had insurance.
So for the record, just so we're clear, before we left, I had given those credit sheets to Firefly, so we can investigate them at our leisure.
Gotcha. Love the smell of propane in the morning. Really nice. So you guys are walking through the street. Who's going up? It was Firefly, and who going for the slicer?
Strafe and I are going in first, and she's going to follow because we can't afford to lose our tech person.
Okay. So as you guys are climbing the stairs, Gino, you're hurrying to move up with Slasher?
Yeah.
Okay. You get a guy that starts kind of bugging you, like, hey, that's a nice jacket. I like the jacket. Do you have money? Can I have $1? You have dollars? Do you have credits? I like credits. Credits good. They help me eat. Can I have credit?
Top Cat, go around the back.
I
Gonna leave.
I point back to the cafe and say, hey, should go check out over there. There's probably more than a credit than I can give you over here.
He looks back. He goes, What? No, that burning is building. That the building is burning.
Yeah. The fire will go down.
No, you give me credit. So as he's bugging you as you're walking, he's not like in your way, but he's standing beside you like panhandling.
Is the terrain unsteady?
No, it's like rough hewn road, kind of like dirt road.
So can I hear this conversation going on over the
there's no like curbs or whatever, right?
No.
Damn it.
Can we hear over the comms?
Yeah, you can hear him over the comm.
Hey, this guy's probably a plant. Make something happen. It'd be an unfortunate accident.
So as you're dealing with him, Slasher, the guy you're following gets to the warehouse. It's part of like almost like a district of it, and that those warehouses are pretty much situated all in a row. There's no security concerns as he just walks into. It's got like a double set of doors on 2 brackets, and he just slides the door open old school and just walks in.
So, Slasher, can you verify the address of that and see if it matches the address that Firefly found in the system of the enemy Nora?
Yeah, by all means, on checking this versus the addresses we're working with.
You're trying to see if this is where the slicer is?
No. You found a scrap of an address when we first broke in.
This is the address he was going to, yes.
Okay.
All right.
That's a good update. Thank you, Slasher.
So, what are you doing? Are you holding in place across the street at?
Is this like a series of buildings or attached to other things that he's gone into?
It's 3 warehouses side by side across the street from kind of like food processing, so like open air market.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and give the building a circle around. Just see if I can check out the general, get a feel for the lay of the land, basically around here. Look for points of entry that we might use.
There's side doors in the center of the buildings, and the warehouses themselves. The windows are all high. So it looks like they use the natural lighting to illuminate the inside of the building. They don't much care to see what's outside the building.
Okay.
Do you have awareness?
I do.
Go ahead and give me an awareness check. Your target is a 10.
And I have a 10.
Excellent. The You notice several small camera nodes situated throughout not only the building you're surveilling, but also the buildings that are close by.
I go and relay. Pardon me. I go ahead and relay that over comms to the rest of the team that we've got. I've got eyes on location. There's surveillance going on here. Different cameras set up all throughout the local vicinity that they have, so they're going to see anybody who's rolling in. Obviously,
we will be there forthwith. We just have to eliminate this loose end. And as I'm saying that, Strafe and I are working our way up. He's taking. Well, first off, the building that this guy's in, is it only one way in, one way out, or are there multiple points of egress?
There's the main double doors that are on tracks on the outside. They're not like blast doors where they swish open in and open by hydraulics. It's it's old school. You gotta like actually muscle power it open.
For the apartment where the slicer is.
Oh, the slicer. There's a back balcony that he'd be able to get out of. But you guys are, I assume you guys are going in the front, or are you going to stage on both sides?
So I will, I have a specialty with a MCR Warpath sniper rifle. So I'm going to unsling my sniper rifle and take up a position in an alleyway overlooking his balcony. And I'm going to trust the superior former Legion skills of Strafe to bag and tag this body with Firefly waiting to follow him in and steal his rig.
All right. So which way?
My pleasure.
Which way are you going?
I'd like to use awareness to scan the stairwell up to see if, like a good code slicer, he's given himself an alert system.
I'm going to roll to assist his awareness. So 2d6. I got a 10, so he gets 1 dice for me.
Yep. So you get.
You're muted, Walt.
4D, 5D, 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 5D.
So yeah.
I'm going to assist as well, because I want to try and I want to make sure that you don't get detected on any possible intrusion systems. By the way, remember when you're aiding, you still only get to keep 3, because I think someone earlier. Yep. So I give you 2 dice because I rolled a total of 13. So I give you 2 dice.
Yep. You got 3 extra.
I will add 2 more. I basically got a 6 and 2 5s.
Okay. So, while they are going in the front door, I'm going to go in the back door because Top Cat, I also happen to be your intrusion expert with lockpicks, and I'm a thief. So I'm going to go through the back door.
So as this is going on, Nick, you definitely notice anti-intrusion measures. So he's got a motion tracker. You know that the model that he's using can be defeated by just moving really, really slow. If you don't want to do that, because of the excellent roll that you gave, you can tell that if you just put like a piece of paper very slowly or a piece of debris very slowly in front of it, it'll defeat it. But if you move quickly or move too fast, it'll set it off. He's got one of those, and he's got a sensor near the door. That you're not sure how you're going to get around it. The sensor looks like a small little bead just aiming at about a 45-degree angle down. From your roll, you know it's a thermal sensor. You guys used to use them in the Legion all the time. So now might be a good time to take a look at your kit and see what things you have.
So Strafe, what countermeasures does he have? Because I'm around the back, split from you guys at the moment.
Oh, hold on. Read the notes section. The armor stripping from fatigue bands.
I have 2 items that I can disable both of these if I get a roll. I can go through both of these, but I need to be informed of what's there. And because I'm on the other side right now.
I'm going to go ahead and rush up the stairs, making both of those alarms go off. And I'm going to fire my blaster a couple of times.
Oh, goodness.
The reason I'm doing that is I'm going to use my presence, which is really good, to drive him to flee, to think he's basically getting swatted.
All right, go ahead.
And I'd like him to flee right into JR's sniper rifle.
We'll just keep in mind, too, when he flees, Not only will he run right into right into the middle of JR's sights, but he's also going to run into Firefly, who's running up the back stairs.
Sweet. Good.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Presence 3D. Blah blah.
8.
8.
As you're getting to the door, you hear all sorts of things like tray tables falling over, some minor swearing, and you hear the back door open. Firefly, as you get to the top of the stairs, he opens the door. You see a guy does not look local. He is too well groomed. He's wearing kind of like, it looks like basketball pants. Almost like a tracksuit.
Mm-hmm.
His hair's slicked back. He's got like this like mustache kind of like waxed down to the bottom of his jaw, and he's wearing a very garish earring. And he looks at you, and he starts to shut the door.
Well,
Is he John McAfee?
What's that?
Is he John McAfee?
He wishes he was that cool.
I was going to be informing you when you turn back to me that I'm currently not visible.
Okay, so you put on your Legion
I have
tech.
10 rounds of it total, and as far as I can tell, I can split it. So
Yep.
I've been trying to move up quickly. So on the staircase, which would take about 5 rounds roughly, I would have that. So he doesn't see me.
All right, so
now.
he doesn't see you. So
And
description
when he
still
gets on-
holds.
Okay, no problem. If he gets on the stairs because he doesn't see me, or I will micro deck cord in on the staircase above me so that he drops down.
All right, so that will blow a portion of the stairs down, and will probably take his legs with it.
I'm okay with that.
At the moment, I don't mind that. We'll see if it takes his legs with him. At the moment, my job is to stop him. So my intention would be to micro deck cord a space on the staircase.
Okay, so what I'm going to need... so he comes out, does not see you, and he looks like he's going to make a run for it.
Okay.
So you have a moniker of training with this stuff. So go ahead and use, because you use it normally for intrusion. You don't normally use it for prolific assault. Go ahead and.
I'm not being prolific assault. I mean, it's more just pop. It's a
Go ahead,
drop-down.
give me an intrusion roll.
Sure. Let's see. I have that. I'm really good at that. 13.
He did not get a 13. All right, so you blow the stairs out from under him, and it's all stonework. So it's not, there's no like nice supports and, everything kind of like reinforced by graded steel or anything like that. So this stone walkway crumbles, and he smacks face first into what was left of the stairs in front of him, loses more than a few teeth, rips out that garish earring, and falls into a crumpled heap with the rest of the stone.
Okay.
I feel this is just lessons that Walt's trying to teach him about that garish earring, right?
Just don't wear earrings.
What do you guys do?
Does he have a man bun? Because then it's all over for him.
No. Not.
No, he's got a mullet. He looks like the bad guy from Hackers.
All right.
The one that rides the skateboard.
You're talking about Balky Bartakamus?
I
Yeah.
think the important thing for Firefly's work is, does he have his rig on him?
He does not have a rig on him.
On my comms, I say, "Hey, Strafe, you're right. Bombs are more fun than tasers."
So while they're doing that, I'm going to use my streetwise and make sure I remain unseen in an alleyway with eyes on this exit, trusting them to do their job.
Explosives are a girl's best friend, always.
So I'm now going to make my way. I disable my my cloaking device and make my way into where the signal is coming from to grab his rig.
Okay.
Do you want to investigate his body for anything real quick?
Go for it. I'm going to go to the rig. You guys deal with the body.
Scott
So-
Lavery from YouTube, watching on YouTube right now, said, "So they encountered Borat."
So So Strafe, since she's going to be playing with their technology, why don't you see what Mr. Deadman has to say? And if he's not dead, make it so.
Okay. Hey, buddy, you look like you got hurt. What happened there?
All right, so Firefly, give me an awareness check. And Nick, how did you walk through the apartment to the back stairwell?
I was going to make sure that thermal wasn't a trip switch on an explosive, and then do a little B&E.
Okay, go ahead. Awareness, and same thing for Firefly as well.
Okay, I assume this is not for security systems, or is it?
You can give me awareness or intrusion, and yes, it is for security systems.
Okay, I've got awareness with security system specialty, so I go up for a die if it's specialty.
Yep, it is.
Okay, great. Then I get to keep. There we go. Ooh, not so great. I rolled a 7.
It was good enough to know what you needed to know. So both Strafe and Firefly know that there are trip sensors all over the apartment, and they were all triggered by him leaving.
So his getting wiped as we speak, and I have to act quick?
No. So in other words, they all went active. So if you're not careful, you will set off the largest EMP this city's ever seen.
Okay. Well, I've got intrusion to eliminate that.
In order to eliminate it, it's not. You either have to disable all the sensors so that you don't trip them, or you have to go to the basement where the generator is because he's got everything hardwired.
So,
question: Is it thermal is it motion detected or thermal? Because I still have a few rounds of invisibility.
It's motion detected.
Okay, motion. Then I will start disabling sensors using tech.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my academia skill to assist.
God.
I know that we learned things in textbooks that might assist her in disarming this in Nether Ops training. Yeah. And so I got a 12, so she gets 2 dice.
Teachable moment.
So,
Yeah.
while
she
I'm
gets an
dealing,
extra 2 dice from my our book learning.
so while I'm still dealing with the guy, I'm hearing all this go down in the.
And you're catching up to Slasher. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use my intrusion as well to help her if possible.
Okay, I've got so go ahead and do that, and I'll add the dice.
That'll be another 12.
Another 2 dice. Okay.
Another 2 dice.
So you got
6, and we'll neither are 6s. Neither are 6s, so 15s.
Okay. All right, so you guys start working your way through the apartment, or Firefly is working her way through the apartment, disabling the trip sensors. Strafe, you get to Borat, the ultimate slicer, and hey buddy, look like you had a bad day, and he's got that look like. You ever see the kid that was running, and even though his parents told him not to, he hits the deck, gets up, and immediately doesn't know whether he should cry? That's the look you got. He's missing his 4 front teeth on the top and 2 on the bottom. His face is all bloodied up, and he goes, "My stairs fell down."
So, as a quick side thing, while trying to catch up to Slasher, I duck into an alley around a blind corner, and I wait for the guy to come around the corner, and then I'll use my fighting.
Oh God.
With a competency die added onto that, because I need that, to basically knock him out when he comes around the corner.
All right, go ahead.
That'll be a 9.
Yeah, he doesn't get a 9, so he's out.
Search the body, Gino. Search the body.
You get half a cigarette, some paper money that is useless, and you can tell that he's only wearing 1 sock. Strafe, what's going on?
I holler back or I calm back to Top Cat and I say, he's just a hobo.
I'm going to give him a hit from my flask and say, here, this will help you.
He, after he takes it, he does one of these, oh my God, it burns, oh my God, it burns.
I know. Listen, this is the worst day you've ever had. And it's about to get a lot worse.
He goes, how can it get worse than my stairs fell down?
Your contract for whoever you were working for is burned. And right now we're going through your rig. So we're gonna find out everything, and then we're gonna kill you. You sure you don't want to drink?
Is
'Cause
there
my hands.
is there a way that you cannot kill me?
I
don't-
calm back over to Strafe and I say, intelligence isn't reliable if we always just threaten with death. We gotta give them some kind of incentive.
Sure. Yeah, but I don't have a Coke on me right now. I just gave you whiskey. I don't think so. I mean, like, it would really be up to you. It'd be like, are you a player? Like, what do you have to trade? Otherwise, you just, that. I think there's a dumpster out back, and that's where we were planning to leave you. But,
That's
You're
horrible. He's like, you're not a nice person.
no,
You're not a nice person.
it's the lady that just blew the stairs out from under you that's not nice.
What lady? I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
This sucks.
You know how you think you're really good at computers? Well, you're a piker compared to her. She lives, breathes, and thinks data. Like, if she could, she'd just talk in ones and zeros. But she has to talk to us humans. So, she's Thor and you're nobody. And she's about to get all into your world. So trade what you got. And let's see
Did you
if
just
I
say
can keep you
Thor?
alive.
He's
Like, we need to differentiate, like, OG Thor or Fat Thor.
We don't fat shame here, all right?
She
He
says-
likes his donuts.
So, and I'm playing the buddy thing. I'm on your side. You tell me what you got to live.
but you're gonna put me in a dumpster. And he's not only is he whining, but there's like little bubbles coming out from all the spittle and blood because now he's missing the teeth to properly form some of these sounds.
I give him a handkerchief and say, "There's a chance you could actually pick your teeth up and get them put back in." But again, you'll need to start talking.
But so no dumpster.
No, I think you're headed towards the dumpster. It depends on what you want to say to get out of the dumpster. Let me put it this way: you have a all expenses paid trip ticket to the dumpster right now.
But I don't like the dumpster. Like he looks
That
delirious.
sounds like he's stunned.
Like like somebody rung. He got his bell rung.
Okay, let me help you. Who are you working for?
He goes, right now, you.
Solid copy. Who were you working for?
Arthur Directorate.
And who's your point of contact?
Saeed was my point of contact, but they killed him last month, maybe.
Yeah.
So now it's Norton.
What does Archer have you doing?
Networks, and he's trying to form those sounds through the broken face. He's trying to say security.
I'll say security.
He goes, that.
And so, like, what kind of stuff are you seeing that they're up to?
He's like, I don't want to talk out of school.
Dumpster.
I love talking out of school. So over the past month, they brought him in to secure their networks. They were setting up a small distribution between 4 criminal elements. And those 4 criminal elements were using local transport hubs for the mining back and forth to the Republic to bring in materials for something called Project Wildflower.
I'm going to tell him that is great, and I'm proud of him, and I think I can get him out of the dumpster. Let's just sit tight. Here's my handkerchief. Let's pick up some of your teeth. I'll even pick up some of your teeth for him. You just let this liquor sit in your mouth. Don't drink it, and that'll numb the pain. And I'll see if we can get you to a dentist, but mainly I'll see if we can keep you out of the dumpster. Now's your chance to come up with something really stellar before Thor comes back and smokes your ass.
He says, like Constellation Stellar, or like just, really, really good.
Yeah, like the thing that the conversation that you were privy, where they said, "Hey, Borat, don't ever tell anybody this thing." I need you to tell me that thing.
So, I'd probably never get another contract ever again if I told you that Senator Hikeda visited the compound where they're working.
Okay, that's gold. That's gold. I think I can work with that. I'm on your side. I'm on your behalf.
But you can't tell anybody it was me.
You're. I think you're gonna have to go find a new life on Thalo.
Do they have nicer dumpsters than here?
No, they got beaches and they got hot chicks and they got little coconut drinks. You're gonna be great there. But again, I got to make the case, so we'll see. So let's just pick up your teeth.
Move to Jersey. It's isolated.
So while you're in the apartment, you're going through. His rigs are set to melt down. There are small thermite charges on the inside that will ruin circuit boards, but leave the exterior casing.
Hold on. Strafe. Tell him that if he doesn't tell you how to disarm his system, that he's going in that dumpster and I'm going to light it on fire.
No, I know Firefly's got this. I'm not even going to tell her that because I respect her skills so much.
So you try to disarm it?
Yeah, I'm going through and disarming the various mechanisms.
Challenge accepted.
Go for it.
Okay. Tech or intrusion?
It's going to be tech.
Okay. Is this considered network intrusion by your book?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. I'm going to use
Hold
one.
on. I'm going to roll 2d6 to see if I can assist.
We're using what?
Give me one.
My technology.
Okay.
I got one dice.
My Googling skills.
Yeah. Dude, I just YouTubed how to trip this off, man. It's going to be off the hook.
He's like, hey, I think it's a yellow wire. Oops. So you gave me gave me one more, so great.
Go for
And
I just read it on thermite charges.
oops, I was one short. Sorry, he gave me. No, I was correct. Yeah, I was correct.
No, you're good. All right, so you disable everything. From the layout of his system, it appears that he is he's just basically the jailer. So he's locking everything down. He's just making sure that the information passes unobstructed and then passes the other way undetected. So
Great.
that's his primary role. There's not a lot of like operational information on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like what he does to secure the network every day.
Well,
So can we get...
go ahead, JR.
So Firefly, can you upload that to Nora before we burn his system?
Yes, but I think I might be able to gain some information before I do so. So the thing about packet transmission like this is that there's going to be markers of locations of where it was transmitted, as well as generally markers of who transmitted it. So while there's no actual data of what information was being transmitted, I wish to look for data packet markers of location of where it was sent to and from, as well as basically signatures of who sent it. So if it was DOD, if it was a known hackers have markers. If it was basically piggybacked off of a home system, look at the MAC address, et cetera, et cetera.
Hit it. So you need an 11 or higher.
Sure.
I am going to use my awareness of the operational situation to see if I can assist her in doing her thing.
Sure.
I got 19, so that's 3 extra dice.
Yeah, that is. Thank you. So that's 8
Well,
dice.
no, he's got a 3, right? 3 dice?
Yeah, you
Oh,
only get to keep 3, so that's
16, so 2 dice.
okay. Great. So then I'm at 7 dice. There, 14. I missed by 1, apparently.
Well, you need to get 11, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
That's
So 3 things stand out. The first is all the tags that you've been seeing all day is the Archer Directorate.
Okay.
Right. The next thing is that weird kind of like somebody like hijacked your network. You're getting those tags as well, but you haven't identified who that is yet. The last one freaks you out a little bit because their addresses all the way back to places like Utopion,
Okay.
specifically to the House of Reason.
Okay. At that point, I immediately forward that information to everybody in our and I have a question. Our closed network between our comms is secure. Of course it's secure. I secured it.
Take
I
a competency die for that.
Thanks. I dropped this information onto their HUDs.
Okay. And Nick, make sure you take a competency die because if you have to pick up another man's teeth, you need all the networking you can get.
I'm also gonna pretend I'm listening to some traffic I'm getting, and then I'm gonna go, "Hey Borat, bad news. It looks like the dumpster."
Wait. What happened? What happened?
She said you don't have anything. That you're not. Nothing's good. So we got to do this. Do you have like a mom I can say goodbye to for you, or wait. The architecture. I don't even understand this. I don't speak computer, but the architecture of the system that you were using, where did that come from?
From what
That seems important.
From what I understand, we got
Really?
it from the Legion.
He says he got it from the Legion. Well, how do you know you got it from the Legion?
That's just what they told me. And he's like
Who
trying to get that T sound. It's very sad.
You mean like the Legion themselves are here, or like it was stolen from the Legion? Like, could you tell? Did it come with like actual documentation and like, I used the system, or did it feel like you were getting a pirated copy? That seems really important.
More like pirated because the Legion stuff usually has markers for the quantum encryption, and those markers aren't. Those markers, and he's trying to push that tongue through the teeth the right way, but he gets
markers aren't there. Groovy. Okay, that's good. I'm going to tell everybody that. And I'm like, okay, no dumpster. Okay, cool. I'm going to get him out of here.
Somebody of Firefly would tell you, or even Nora would tell you that somebody of this guy's caliber, you're going to either want to black bag him and have somebody pick him up, or you're not going to want to let him out on the street by himself.
Okay.
We don't have time. The target is waiting. Slasher is by himself. It's the dumpster. Burn the evidence. Throw the rig in after him. Drop a flare.
What do you guys do?
Me?
Well,
You picked the wrong side in this galactic gamble.
What do you guys do?
Throat punch. Then I stand up, draw my blaster, and waste him.
All right, I am going to use my awareness to make sure when I cross the street that we won't be detected, and then I will assist Strafe in getting the body into the dumpster. And we're going to throw any identifying stuff in his apartment, like his rig. We're gonna have to make it all go away.
Poor Borat. What are you doing inside the apartment, Firefly?
I think she was finished.
I finished. Once I have that information, I'll grab his rig. I will shut it down. I will also take out its network card, make sure that there is no way to remotely turn it back on and get it I'm basically going to lock it down and take out its network card so that nobody can remotely connect to it and take it.
So are we keeping the computer or are we tossing it into the dumpster fire?
I'm keeping it, though I'm dropping the network card. I'm tossing the network card into the dumpster fire, but I'm keeping it.
Is the computer portable to the point where it won't slow us down?
It's small, about the size of like one of those like Surface Pros, Microsoft Surface Pro. It's basically as thick as a notebook.
Easy
peasy. Let's do it.
Yeah, just like that. If that.
Outstanding.
All right, so where do you guys go from here?
We're going to link back up with first with Gino, who, as I understand, is still in the alley playing around with that hobo, and then we'll
he knocks him out, and he's going to link up with Slasher first.
I'm going to grab the vehicle.
Okay.
How far a walk is it to where Slasher's at?
10 minutes. if that. But seeing he's grabbing your vehicle, which basically looks like a grav sled version of like an SUV. You guys will be there in no time flat.
Will it stand out in the city?
No,
Will it
no.
draw unwanted?
There's enough like businessmen who are with the mining consortium that these are the locals don't have them, but like big business has them, so you won't stand out.
All right, let's do this. We're gonna hop in the Vic and drive away. And just for good measure, because I know you like playing with explosives, Firefly, if you could make his apartment just not exist anymore, that would be great.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of burning going on in this city. All right,
Right?
so at the outside the warehouse, you get the sense that something's going on because you have 4 or 5 local trucks. These are small white pickup trucks with like actual tires, runs on combustible fuel. They pull up. The guys who are in them basically just hop out of the back. The driver and passenger continue on, but you've seen 3 loads of guys come out in the last few minutes while Team Mayhem have been burning down the city. So, what are you doing?
So, Slasher, can you tell if that's the last vehicle coming in?
I've been watching, seeing how they're loaded by all means. Definitely, if they're asking me about the last vehicle, try and, how is this in the center of the city, or is this kind of off in, warehouse district where you're not seeing a whole lot of movement at a time like this?
This is like outskirts, kind of. Not exactly the terminal end of the city, but it's sparse because right outside of the warehouses, there's a ton of not a ton, but there's a big surface area outside for incoming ships to pick up loads and then bring them to other places. So kind of like haulers.
So, Slasher, what you'd like you to do is, if you can, at your best discretion, tag every one of those vehicles so when they leave, we know where they go. That might come in useful later.
Yeah, that was a plan that I was working with. Since I've had plenty of time with them, I want to kind of identify the sight lines that I think those surveillances are working on, see if I can find any patterns or anything. I've got some intrusion so that I can look at that and find the best way that I'd be able to get up and drop some tracers on those vehicles.
Dropping the tracers on the vehicles won't be an issue. If you wanted to actually see in the building, you just have to work around the sight lines for the surveillance system, and that you would need a 6 for.
Okay.
So 6 or higher.
Let us go ahead.
And what skill is that? That's the
Intrusion.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to assist his intrusion. I got a 9, so you get 1 dice from me, sir.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, you definitely see there's a pattern that forms with the way that they're positioned. You could probably sneak your way through to a vantage point, and you do that after the trucks are tagged.
Yeah. And what are these guys coming in with? Are they loaded or are they?
It's just dudes just jumping out and walking in the front.
Okay.
So
do they have looking at them and from our briefs as well as our time working on planets like this, is there anything that makes them stand out? Do I think that they're just local street toughs? Do I think that they're here to buy stuff, terrorists, anything like that? Basically, it's the Elliot question. Do they have a distinctive shoe, haircut, or watch?
Not all dressed all different. There's even several different races. Nothing really that you recognize, but enough of variation to where you know that it's not just humans that are walking in here. So whoever's on the inside, it's not like they have a certain preference or whatever. One of the things you do notice, though, is that the majority of people that are coming in, they all have a certain gait to them, like they're holding weapons under their clothing. As you're doing that, Gino makes it on the scene and lets you know that he's closing in on your location. So he's within maybe 25, 30 meters of you. As you're sitting on the warehouse looking in the window, you hear a chittering above you, and you see what looks like one of the local like rats. It looks like a combination between a raccoon and a monkey. And it's hanging upside down by the gutter, and it's got its hand out, kind of like, give me something.
Everything wants a bribe in this city.
Please take a competency die for that. That was perfect.
By the way, I want to nominate Walt for a competency die for his wonderful trying to impersonate having your front teeth knocked out.
I don't think I should get a competency die because I can take them ad nauseum. The thing is just sitting there looking at you, and it after a while looks at its own hand and then puts it back towards you again. On the inside of the warehouse, you can see these guys are moving some crates around, but then one of the guys calls over a few of the others. They reach over to what looks like cargo container. They take the tarp off of the container, and it's not a tarp. It's a heavy wheeled armored track vehicle.
I go ahead and send pictures through our glasses over to the rest of the group. I use that. Do I see some of the other things that have got tarps over them? Are they roughly same size?
You got some. What do you call it? Cargo containers, cargo boxes. There's some broken down vehicles. There's kind of like office space. So here is what you see. Let's see, where are you? Over there. All right, so this is what you got in the warehouse. You got a couple of forklifts. So in one corner, they pull off the tarp, and it is a large, it almost looks like a tank made out of a local vehicle. And then like slapped plate steel on it to try and make it tougher. In another corner,
there's a baby one.
There's a baby.
It had a baby.
This one does not have tracks. It's got actual tires. It's got plate steel on the outside, and
So it's like a technical.
yeah. And the guy that you guys have been tracking are in here. He's in here, and he's by the smaller of the two, and he's talking to a few men while some men are loading up in the larger vehicle on the north part of the warehouse.
As I'm looking in here, are any of these windows open, cracked, damaged? How sturdy are these windows? Is it meant to take a blast, or are they going to be easy to knock out?
Oh, you'll knock these out in a hot minute.
All right. Is there any that are already open to not necessarily give us access, but to give us, lines that we can get things into the room from?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
So like Gino could set up and do some sniper stuff if he had to. Top Cat could do the same thing. The doors are flimsy, so and your vehicle that Strafe is driving is armored. So if you had to, you guys could crush right through those doors by driving. It's not exactly the best place they could have picked for wherever is the meeting.
Let me ask you, Slasher, does it look like those vehicles are manually operated, or could they be hacked and taken over remotely?
I don't have a tech or vehicle skill, but I've got Streetwise. If I'd be able to identify whether that might be, which way they might go on that.
Go ahead, hit me.
Couldn't he have told just by having watched them dismount?
He watched them dismount from regular trucks.
Okay.
And
so I got a 12.
Yeah. These are sleepers. They're sleepers. Because as they're fitting these things with plate steel and stuff like that, you can see some of the power systems, and they're really updated. Like the kind of stuff you guys would use on a repulsor vehicle.
Nice.
All right.
All right. I will go ahead and relate that over to them. I'm, giving them as best on their HUDs, giving them the best information that I can get here while I'm up at a high vantage point in here.
Now, as they're approaching,
Guess I always wanted to, sorry, go ahead, Walt.
No, go ahead, please.
Guess I always wanted to add carjacker to my resume.
Damn Skippy.
Give me 5 minutes. We'll make it happen for you, Firefly.
As you guys are approaching Slasher, Gino already joins him. The larger of the two vehicles exits the rear door, and it drives out, and it's heading out to open desert. The smaller of the two, these guys are kind of like loading up stuff. Looks like they're loading up small crates.
Are there any satellite assets in orbit that might be able to follow?
You guys have drones if you need them.
Drone them if you need them.
So Firefly, let's make that drone a thing.
Sounds good.
All right, you send it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Meanwhile,
you guys all show up, and you're looking through the what do you call it? This is the layout of the place. There are people walking and working and moving around. So there's lots going on. I don't know what's going on with Santa Claus up in the top left-hand corner, but it came with the map. So unless you want me to draw on it,
I'd like to do something here. Is there any surveillance that I can tap into for the area?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'd like to tap into that and see if I can get an ID on the car that drove off.
15.
Sure thing. Let's see.
All right, while you're doing that...
I want to, if we're going to deal with these guys, are we going to be able to use Firefly to basically shut them off from communicating with the one that just left so we can catch up to that later?
Working on that. Anybody going to be aiding me to track that car down first, though?
Yeah, I can do that.
Before we do that, so to answer Scott Lavery's question, so he asked what a sleeper was. That's basically anything that's made to look like garbage but hides a high-quality gem underneath.
Yeah, kind of like
kind of like what, Nick?
Kind of like my body.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
So at the beginning of the Civil War movie, when they've got that loaded down garbage truck that's going to be a battering ram, that would be a sleeper effectively.
Right on.
So is she using tech to track it, or is she using a
drone,
like just visual? Okay.
So I'm going to use my operational awareness to assist her. I have 4, it's 8, 9, 10, 11. So she got 1 dice from me.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and use my technology 3 die to help. So that'll be 2 dice for me.
Awesome. I get the feeling that people suddenly feel like their abilities are a lot more powerful now.
Me and Tracker last game we were assisting frequently, and it was
only on when you thought it was only on 6s.
Well, yeah. the only on 6s was put in because the way it is now is more geared toward like superhero campaigns. So with the 6s, you know 5 or 6s depending on the situation, you could pretty much guarantee like 1 or 2 from multiple people helping, so that it wasn't like suddenly you had a boon of dice that you could roll. So
I was not aware that they.
That's okay. That's why the playtest.
The reason why I make it clear why I go over the reason why I clarify it is because I have been at multiple supers tables where people think it's only on a 6, including Jerry's games where he's GMing and he explains it and people are rolling only, and I'm like, you've got 18 there. Yeah, no 6s. I'm like, but you've got 18 there. And they're like, huh? And I'm like explaining because a lot of people for some reason think it's only on the 6. So I'm not aware
all
that
good. But now they've seen both systems, right? And
so 16 is what I got.
All right, so you tap into the security system, and you have basically a layout of the warehouse and the surrounding areas. The warehouse is pretty huge. It's a little over the size of a football field, and it's high domed roof. the as you guys are looking down, that little creature slasher sticks his hand out again, and then like pats your shoulder.
I'm going to go ahead and grab a ration bar and chuck it, open it up, show it to it, and then throw it for it to go after.
It watches you throw it, and then looks back at you, and it says, "I don't want ration bars. I work for credits."
See, you played with our expectations.
What are you going to do, Slasher?
I look at it and I'm like, what are you expecting to get paid for?
He goes,
Don't say sex.
No. Competency dice for Nick. The thing goes, "I see what's here. You give me money, I tell you what's here."
They all talk the same here.
Yeah, like Italians.
At least they don't go, miso talk so much so.
Oh God, I couldn't do it.
Slasher, give him the credits. I'll make sure you get paid and then some.
Pass them over credits and put them up on everybody's HUD.
He bites it, and he says, "Dark container, poison. Light container, more containers. Slightly darker container." He goes, "Handling, protection," and he grabs your clothing. He's like, "Protection."
Armor. Okay. I nod. I'm like, what else have you seen?
He goes, "Bald guy," and he points down to the guy you've been tracking.
Points up to the GM in the sky.
Yep. And he says, "Bald guy, no good." He goes, "Comes frequent, no good."
I nod. Anybody got any more questions? Do you know where they're going? Have you seen them go from here?
He goes, "Big truck, security."
Ask him if there's any guards on the outside of the area that he knows about.
I'm going to use my system and start tinkering and hacking and trying to basically figure out the origin of his accent and then create a translator so that they can speak basically through a Google app style thing where he's not trying to second language. Yeah, trying to figure out. So I'm going to basically retune stuff and, analyze accent, feed it out. Now you guys can talk, and it'll be a lot better.
You don't want to have to roll. You'll be able to set that up. It's just going to take you a few minutes.
Sure thing.
He answers a question about like roving guards and stuff like that. That's what you were asking, Gino?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No roving guards. Nobody comes or bothers them. They just do what they do. But the big vehicle, he's ridden in the vehicles before underneath. The big vehicle is security. The little vehicle is going to be transporting materials to something he keeps referring to, the shadow base.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we want to get to that shadow base.
Do you know where it is? Could you find it?
He
You
goes,
got more credits.
He goes, "How many credits?"
Enough.
He
Our
goes,
supervisors would be very happy with you and make you be able to retire.
Are you repeating that, Slasher?
Yeah, sure.
We'll retire you in Jersey. It's just like Boca.
As long as you don't retire him to a dumpster. He just says that he knows it's in the desert, but that's all. And then he starts saying Oasis. The shadow base and the Oasis.
Okay, that is enough. We will pass on some credits for him and tell him to skedaddle because things are about to go interesting.
He walks up to the curved roof, brushes off the nutrient bar that you just threw, and kind of vacates the area because apparently he knows what shooting is. You guys are on the outside. What do you do?
So we are going to assign sectors of fire. I don't think it's the target's already left. Correct. That was the.
No, the target is still in the building.
Why would we? Is he a target? I mean, we're not supposed to engage him, right?
We're supposed to follow him back to the base.
Yeah, you're supposed to follow him back to the base.
Yeah.
All right. I thought he had already left.
Shoot anybody.
I thought he had already left. So we were going to eliminate the targets. But if he's still there, can we see him from? Can Slasher see him with his raised vantage point as we start assigning the best route in?
You can see him. Yeah, you can definitely see him.
All right. So where is he on the map?
He is right here.
Right here?
Right next to the armored vehicle.
So we're going to have our vehicle pull off to the side with Strafe keeping the engine running. And Campbell and Slasher have independent eyes on various locations. So Firefly.
Did we just lose JR?
Yeah, I think we did.
Darn you. All right, so what are you guys going to do? Are you just going to follow him?
Well, I never got an answer on what I got on the 16 to get the information on the guy that left.
As far as what were you looking for?
So I wanted to see if I can pinpoint that car, get identifiable features.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to be able to, because if I can identify the car, I might be able to hack into its system.
It's it doesn't have a network system, so it's made to look like a local, but it's not. It doesn't have what do you call it? Like a dedicated network system. It looks like when they communicate with each other, they use burst transmitters and like holocoms, like you guys do.
Okay. What about its radio system? So is it whatever this world's version of Sirius radio is or something like that? Are they using just normal radio or satellite radio or anything like that?
They're actually bouncing off of transmission towers.
Okay. So with that, first off, I am looking to find a way to disable any ability for them to communicate with the people here with that information. And second of all, I am going to basically I'm going to send a bug into the transmission towers that it's nearby and to prevent any transmission that they can utilize through that.
Gotcha. 15 or higher.
Okay. Roll. Anybody? I think you guys are a little busy right now. So
while JR is rebooting his laptop, the Nora comes over the line and gives you guys a message that you have Legion assets inbound.
Okay.
There is a Dark Ops team, Kill Team Terminator. They have also been tagging this guy. And the second he hit this warehouse, they went full Legionnaire and started like jumping in their truck, and they're driving over here right now.
I got a 13.
I think we should bounce out of here and continue tracking him.
We aren't supposed to be here, so do we want to keep a set of eyes that can catch up on one of the bikes here until they arrive? Just make certain this guy doesn't get out of here. Do we want to?
We've lost our glorious leader. So
I think that at that point we should keep a set of eyes here, and we should have a bunch of us go and follow the car that I'm tracking.
Okay.
I can sit back here and keep eyes on the area.
You're a sniper. So if things change, okay. So can I leave a drone with him so that I can basically, pilot both, be able to deal with both scenes?
Yep.
Great. I'll leave a drone, and I will be heading towards the car that I've been tracking, and I will let them know. By the way, on a 13, I believe you said I don't get to disable their communications.
Correct. Yeah, you
Okay.
need a 15.
Okay, I'll let them know. They're using some very subtle tech. I can't disable it, not without being on site.
All right, so the vehicle that left is a security vehicle. That's like a big armored vehicle made to look like something more local.
Mhm.
The one that's here that they're mounting up with, it looks a little bit smaller, and it's got 6 wheels, kind of like the old Marine LAVs, except it's got an open back, and they're mounting what looks like an old style machine blaster on the back. So it looks like they're not going to be long for here. They've already loaded several crates. You probably got a few minutes before they take off. What are you guys doing?
We're as you know,
Just
I
keep-
think it sounded like a bunch of us are heading out towards the security vehicle that we're heading, that I'm tracking.
All right, so
Yeah,
you guys are going to
and
track down the security vehicle?
yeah, and I'm
Julie-
gonna hang back.
Okay. So
Now,
Strafe
if it doesn't look like they're going to be here for very long, and that's the number one guy that we were supposed to follow, are we wanting to stick on him?
I would say let's wait. I think they're both going to arrive at the Oasis. I think the lead vehicle just left ahead of time. Let's go ahead and follow. Let's wait and all stay together and follow this last vehicle.
Sure.
Because chances are they're going to the same place. But if not, we're tracking the first vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm tracking the first vehicle, so I'm totally fine staying here.
Yeah.
I can interact with both scenes right now. So, do we have any drones that I can send towards that car? By the way, that vehicle that would be subtle.
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely. Yep.
Great. I want to send a drone out to that vehicle, and I want it to be a stealth drone so that they won't catch it.
Okay. About 5 minutes later, everybody mounts up into that small tank, and they take off toward the back and start heading out toward open desert.
Same direction?
Slightly different. So it looks like the first vehicle was going like straight due north. These
Okay.
guys started going north and then started banking toward northeast. You guys are kind of taking like a wide orbit, kind of around the towns and some of the around the town and some of the canyons. And as that happens, a dark operations kill team in a 4-wheeled, heavily armored like dune buggy blast through the what do you call it, the warehouse. There's all sorts of shooting going on. They just KTF their way right through this warehouse, shredding people as they go. They blow out the back doors and start heading toward open desert, tracking the smaller of the 2 vehicles. As you guys are getting all of this from the drone that was left on station, you also get the drone that's up ahead with the major security vehicle. It gets tagged that there's another Legion drone in the area, so it sort of skirts around a little bit. As it does, it brings up an oasis that not really an oasis, but like a broken down city that kind of crumbled and stuff like that. People in the area who cross the desert by caravan often leave food, supplies, water, and stuff like that. It looks like somebody out that way is setting up an ambush point.
Okay.
That's what we're seeing on the drone.
That's what you're seeing on the drone. And from the look of the way that both vehicles are going through the map, the big, huge vehicle looks like it's taking a wide arc. So hold on one second. Let me bring this up.
While you're bringing that up, I messaged a question out. I wanted to do a thermal scan on the various vehicles. I know that we have people accounted for, and those are going to be hot spots. But my concern is that I want to search for hot and cold spots outside of that. Specific weapons, specific types of weapons will have cold spots or hot spots depending on the type. And I want to get a count on thermal best I can.
Right on. The bigger vehicle has like vehicle shredding weapons. It has stuff like very poor mid-core style big blaster weapons, crew-served weapons, like almost like the N2, just not as good. So imagine like a 50 caliber blaster. It's got stuff like that. It's got small port weapons that it can use, canister weapons, all sorts of stuff.
Send it all to HUD, everyone's HUD, so that there are
Okay.
no.
The smaller vehicle only has like a big machine gun style blaster on the back, right? So, oh, hold on. There.
Are they old school blasters or are they?
They're not very well maintained. All
Okay.
right. So right here. All right. So you have a. If you look at the top left hand corner, you have the what do you call it? The truck that just left with your asset that you've been tracking. Um, he he's in the lead, and these guys are firing backwards at the Legionnaires, who are shooting at them. But it doesn't look like the Legionnaires are. If you had to make a guess from your time dealing with the Legion, and for those of the team that were in the Legion, you would think that they are doing more harassing fire than actually trying to shoot these guys, or maybe trying to direct them. In the north, in the north part of the map, more toward the east, moving around some pylon towers that are holding secure power lines, as well as broadcast towers. There's that large vehicle circling around. It looks like it's going to try and intercept and give the asset a hand against the Legion. What do you guys do?
Let's
Now,
see.
keep in mind, based on the trajectory of what you guys are seeing, it looks like somewhere over here on the map, on the extreme right hand side of the map near the top, there is that Oasis City, and it looks like that's where your asset is heading. But you just got word that there are a ridiculous amount of forces staged there, so your Legionnaires might be heading into a trap.
Okay. But we have orders not to ever engage with the Legionnaires and cross paths with them. So we are, well, at this point, I want to see basically if I can get close enough to, since I'm now on site, to tap into their communications, at the very least to listen in if I can't disable, because I want to know what is going on.
All right.
And since, especially now that they are more concerned about the Legionnaires than they're probably concerned about whatever else, I want to basically, catch them while they're off guard.
Give me a 12 or higher.
Okay. I got a 17.
Dear Lord Almighty.
So I to their calm.
Yeah, you managed to get. It seems that the holocom, the little cell phone thing the guy's been using, can ping satellites, because whoever he's talking to is not within range of him for a long distance. So you hear him like he's very worried, and you can hear the sound of blaster fire going back and forth, striking rock. You can hear it hitting off the armor on the truck. And he yells out, I know it's not going to hold. We just have to get to the Oasis. If we get to that place, we can take out the Legion.
Okay. I am feeding I'm feeding the feed directly into everybody's system so they can all hear it.
I think we should try to hit the Oasis before the Legion walks into a trap.
I think so too, but I also think that, do we have an impersonation specialist here?
I don't know.
Do we have anyone here that is good at impersonation? Anybody that thinks they can do this guy's accent?
I could probably do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Okay.
All right, JR, are you back?
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Cool.
Because if I can intercept, if I can redirect the calls, we might be able to send some misdirection and some misinformation for our benefit. So if you want me to try that, I want to know if any of you feel that you are capable in taking that role.
I was born to play this role.
Okay, great. So, at this point, then, I am going to redirect the feed over to our systems and put him on the line.
All right, so as you're doing that, he puts out another call. It sounds like he's calling the bigger of the two tanks.
Okay.
And he says,
I'm going to try and stop that call and redirect the call to us.
Okay, he says, okay, I just need you to wait in position till we get into the lower wadi. Then you can put all that fire and hate on those cursed legionnaires.
Okay. Was I able to stop it from reaching the tank on that call?
Yeah, because you got the roll earlier.
Awesome. So yeah, at that point, Strafe's on with him when he receiving that information. You're on, Strafe.
Oh, I'm Potato. I was gonna say we should because he wants him to wait. We should tell him to basically go in.
So there you go, Strafe. I put you online. You said you can play this role.
Okay, I can do it. We ready?
Yeah.
Get it.
I've got you redirected.
Copy, affirmative. We are doing that, but I think you should make for the oasis immediately, as fast as you can.
We'll get there very soon. I just need you to take the legionnaires off my tail.
We're coming right in. We're gonna get the legionnaires. Maybe I'm getting a little German.
So what happens? So you guys are driving, trying to catch up.
I think what we're gonna is because I'm an awesome driver, I'd like to arrive at the oasis before these dudes do.
One of the things that you guys have at your disposal, you have a stork. So your vehicle, your repulsor vehicle, is made to mate with a VTOL vehicle. So it latches up to a VTOL vehicle, and then Nick, you'd be able to drive that vehicle from inside the land vehicle. Okay. So basically, you can get picked up and move someplace a lot quicker.
Let's do that.
While you're driving though, and after you talk to him and on the intercept, I'm going to then patch you in with the tank to give the tank new orders. I will suggest that you tell them that there is a detour, a blockade on the road, and they need to take a detour, take secondary route, the slower route.
Okay.
Because groups like this, they're going to have a secondary route plan. If anything goes wrong, tell them to go to secondary route because those tend to be slower.
Okay. Can do.
All right.
So patch you in with the front vehicle.
I can't hear them anymore. I can't hear them.
This is me. You need to switch to the secondary route. We're in big trouble.
Wait, what secondary route?
Secondary route. Whatever you do not engage the legionnaires. We're leading them into a trap.
So, should I stay where I am, or should I drive to assist in the low wadi?
Do not assist, but make them think that you're coming at them. But do not fire.
This sounds like a plan. I will make this happen for you.
Well.
And then continue monitoring whenever they try and interact. I'm going to basically redirect to our lines.
Right on. All right. So as you guys are doing this, Nick guides in the VTOL vehicle. It snaps onto the outer hull of the vehicle you're riding in. There's this huge blast of air. It sounds like a hairdryer had a one night stand with a thunderous engine. This thing blasts you into the air straight up. The outer pylon engines that are at the end of the wings rotate. There's a shudder in the skin of the aircraft as it begins to go from vertical thrust to horizontal thrust, and you guys nosedive straight through into some of these canyons. Nick, if you fly too high, you're going to come down in a way that will let whatever is at this oasis kind of see you. But if you fly too low, you're going to have to drive through some of these canyons, and you're just going to need a piloting check.
Okay. I'm going to use my Repulsor Craft 3D, and because this is pretty tough stuff, can I throw my will at that?
No, you gotta. You can only use one thing at a time. So, right. But if somebody has any type of piloting or anything like that, or if somebody has technology, they can kind of like read the map ahead of time and give you point-by-point instructions. They can assist that way.
I'll give you tech, and that'll be one die.
I'm going to gamble that he knows what he's doing. I'm going to use my gambling presence.
No, I don't think so. That's a nice try, though. You can get
All right, I'm gonna use my academia
No.
because I did read the manual. All right, I'm gonna use my technology to assist.
the technology I'll allow, and please take a competency die for trying to scam me.
Straight, you get 2 dice from me, and I'm going to be right back.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll. You need 12 or higher.
I'm just going to keep my eyes out with
Dear
awareness
Lord
to try and
Almighty.
help them.
Top 3.
Yeah, 5, and
4.
4. Yeah, you're all set. All right.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys are sick or get sick easily, you best break out the Dramamine or Space Dramamine because he's driving it like the wheels fell off. Because of course they did. It's a repulsor vehicle. It doesn't have wheels. The thing drops down into one of the canyons, and he's map of the earth-ing this thing like crazy. It's bucking. It's shuddering. It's he's taking halting stops, and then eventually he comes out the top side of a canyon, blowing the dust right off the top of the canyon lip as he flies in a low circle toward the oasis. So when you guys get there, are you going to? How are you going to fly in?
First off, I'm going to do a presence roll and put in the Galaxy's Edge space equivalent of Thunderstruck.
Of course you are.
And then we're going to light up all the forces on the ground.
All right. So you guys are going to stay airborne?
Yeah.
All right. So let me just get I need to get you here.
All right, so. Oh, okay.
All right. This looks like bad guy convention at the Sahara. There are, you figure, roughly 50 people here and there. Tons of people. So they're on the
Trigger
outside.
nuke. That's the solution.
Trigger
So I'm
nuke.
going to use my operational awareness
Yep.
and see if we can get extra details.
Go ahead. Roll a 12 or higher.
I got 14.
Okay. It looks like they're staging, like they don't expect the Legion to get here for a few more minutes, so they're kind of setting everything up. The thing that worries you most is they have a couple of cyber drones.
Is this the treaded kind?
Yes.
Oh, I wonder what those are.
Yeah, so they...
How many?
Right now you can only see the one. So it is not that big.
Is that to scale?
No. So tracked vehicles, twin mounted outboard blasters. It looks like they're reinforced with a couple of bots. You can see.
Is there a controller for the bot?
You can't see them if there is. Nobody stands out to you. You got a couple of guys pointing. Some guys kind of just like hanging out. The majority of the people are kind of like at the outskirts, and they're trying to stage themselves behind all the debris and whatnot. Then you got some forces down on the. So if you look at the top side of the map, the terrain dips down from there, and you have what looks like a giant hill or depression that follows from there, and you got about 30 people down there. Maybe about 15 or 20 on the top of the hill. So various people. Nobody's in a set uniform. It's just like a bunch of dudes with guns, and it looks like I said, they're setting up with the plan of ambushing from the west.
Okay.
So
Where are we coming in from?
You tell me. You're in an aerial vehicle. You can come in wherever you want.
I advise that we come in from the bottom left-hand corner where that building is, and it's not being populated right then. And
so let me ask you this, there, Mr. Controller Ops. On our character sheet, you have grav bike as assigned equipment. Is that something we left behind?
Nope.
Or do we have that?
Nope. They can link right up to the ship.
So Strafe is the driver of the year. So, can those be remotely controlled?
The grav bikes, no. You have to actually be on them to pilot them.
I'm just thinking that that's going to be a force multiplier to allow us to be quick on our feet. So, can we hover with this vehicle?
With the vehicle you're in right now?
The aerial, like in stationary orbit?
It's a VTOL vehicle.
So, Gino is going to get his handy dandy sniper rifle, and I will too, and we'll see if we can't pop in some targets out. Do we see anybody using our awareness that looks like they're in charge?
From what you can tell, it looks like this guy right here is giving a lion's share of the orders.
So, Gino, you think you could take him out?
Yeah, I can do that. Hey, either Slasher or Top Cat, could either of you spot for me?
Yeah, I will use my snipe mode. I have what's the TB on the gear?
Threat bonus.
So how does that work? Is that a dice thing?
It doesn't come into effect for this part.
You,
It comes into effect for the results.
All right.
But yeah, by all means, I can spot for you.
Okay. So I've got 5D. Y'all go ahead and do your thing and let me know what I can.
Also, Nick, you have control of the ship, so if you want to move it to wherever you want, you can play with the ship.
So how many dice?
You get 2 plus me. I'm assisting with the shooting.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in from the south, but I'm going to do what we call in piloting a crab. And a crab is basically going to orient the ship perpendicular. So if I could pick it would if this is the guy, the crab would be here so that the shooter has an angle here.
Right on.
And then I'm going to even though we're in hover mode, I'm going to start reeling adding power to the VTOLs to kick up a lot of sand.
Ooh, that's nice.
Now, I have a question for you, Mr. Controller Ops.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use a boost in addition to my regular shooting?
Your boost is for your shooting.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with how that works.
So which boost are you looking to use?
The split attack.
Yep.
So I could take multiple shots and I would still have a high dice, right?
So the first shot is at whatever it is your dice rating is, and then the second shot is going to be 1 die lower.
Okay.
Now, if we assisted him in the shooting, does that mean we also cannot take shots?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
All right. So who is assisting, and how many dice am I adding on to my 5?
I'm totally willing to spot for you.
2 from me.
All right, so that'll be 2 from JR, and then
Walt, is this
Slasher?
awareness that I'm able to use to act as a spotter?
Either awareness or shooting. Totally up to you.
So that's 1 die from me.
Okay, so 3 die total. And a whole bunch of die. We got a 14 for the first guy. And then 1 die less for the split attack. So I'll take that one aside.
But just keep in mind, they spotted for you, so that should only apply to the first attack, I believe.
Okay.
Or does it apply to both? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it only applies to the first.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll go ahead and do my second attack. And that will be a 12 for the second guy.
All right. So you guys, you guys have pretty good kit, especially in the vehicle. You guys have external speakers and audio induction devices allowing you to hear what's going on the ground. Nick, real quick, give me a piloting roll of some sort, because I'm going to use that as a counter to them trying to shoot you because of all that dust you're kicking up.
Okay. I have so far acquired 2 competency dice. And I'm going to burn both those and the 66 that I get.
Dear Lord Almighty.
Because I don't want us to die.
And you keep 3.
That is a big number.
17.
Oh, that's going to suck, me shooting at you guys. All right, so the first round goes out, Gino. And this guy is sitting there and he's like, I need you to stage over there, and then you are going to be, and his head vaporizes from the first shot. There is a wave of blood that hits the guy beside him, and he just is like, he's like, oh my god, and the guy next to him says, that makes you in charge, and then his head vaporizes.
just working my way down the chain of command.
So you hear one guy over the induction audio say, I am definitely not in charge, and they start to scatter, right? So,
I come over, JR, shoot him next.
All right,
so that guy falls down, and then that guy is unhappy because he misses his head. All right, so now let's go for initiative. All right, so that is either your awareness, your reaction, or if you have super senses. Nobody has any like super speed or anything, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, so that will be top 3, right?
Yep.
That'll be...
no, not top 3. This is just initiative, so whatever the number is.
Oh,
So
okay.
For
Try
JR.
to use reaction for me.
Wait,
before-
I've got a 5 reaction. Hold on.
Ooh, you are fast.
Yeah, rolling 2 more d6s. Okay, cool. I am a total of 12.
All right.
Strafe gets an 11.
18.
10 for Slasher.
15 for me being here.
Slasher was 15.
10.
10. JR, what'd you get?
15.
And Nick, you got an 11?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Gino, you got an 18?
Yep.
All right, Gino, you're up first.
All right. Well, the guy that said I'm not in charge, I'm gonna do the same thing I did in the first thing. I'm gonna do the shooting. I'm gonna do the first shot at him, and then do the second attack at somebody else. So, does anybody want to spot again?
I'd have to wait for my action to take that.
Okay, got it. No worries. So I'll just do 5.
First shot.
Yep. All right, we got a 4. Hold on, I can do this. 9 plus 6.
13.
Yeah, that's the number.
All right, so you got a 13 on the first guy?
Yep.
All right, hold on a second. So he was like, no, I am definitely not in charge. You blow a chunk out of his shoulder. It rips the armor off and sprays the guy next to him with all sorts of bodily gore as it spins him around and tumbles him down the hill.
So the guy that got splattered with the gore, I'd imagine he's stunned and has blood all over in his eyes.
He does not look happy.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take advantage of him being covered in viscera and have the second shot be at him.
Okay.
No one covered this in So You Want to Be a Private Military Group.
And I'm actually gonna drop my my dumb luck.
Oh no,
into-
you gotta wait till the roll, right? So I was doing dumb luck wrong.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to add a competency die, if you have one left, you can do that. Dumb luck is if you you announce you want to use dumb luck, and you roll twice, take the better of the two. But you gotta have a competency die to burn to do it.
Okay, I think I understand.
So if you want to use dumb luck, you tell me you want to use dumb luck, you cross off a competency die, and then roll twice and take the best one.
Okay. So, all right. So I'd still be at four die. I understand then. Nah. I'll keep my competency die for that one. So I'll just go ahead and do a regular boost split attack thing.
Go for it.
So that's a 7.
All right, it hits the dirt, and he's like, "I'm alive! So that was at 18. The bad guys, they open up on the ship, but there's so much dust in the air right now with Strafe just dumping epic loads of dust into the air from the engines. They're going to have a hard time. So the first group hits you. The second group misses you, and the drone hits you. So the first group, it's just harassing fire. It's all small arm stuff, and you guys have an armored vehicle. There's pinging across the armor. It doesn't look like it's going to do much. You seem to be in good shape. The second group includes these robots up at the top, and it's big heavy fire. So if it had hit you, luckily, Strafe, how do you get around the harassing fire that these guys are leveling at you?
The harassing fire that I do is I immediately add a lot of power to the engines to make them whine really bad and split everybody's ear. Their hearing protection on, and then I'm going to do a hard pivot and blow sand on everybody.
Awesome. So if you do click on the vehicle, you'll notice that the targeting box you get has a little tail. The back of that tail, you can put your cursor over it, and it'll allow you to rotate the vehicle.
Now you're talking.
So you can do that.
Oh,
very exciting. The drone managed to level a shot at you. It's got like those, like the old like at style, like offset guns from like the Navy and stuff like that. It's like dunk 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 dunk. It levels pretty heavy bolts and manages to hit the side of the aircraft. Give me a control roll really quick. You got to get a 9 or higher.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to start suffering systems failures.
I don't like systems failures. Systems. Zoom. 4, 5, and 4.
Dear Lord Almighty. All right, so that thing hits you. You feel the outer skin of the craft like get knocked. There's some gaping holes in scoring, but there's nothing that affected any of the systems of the aircraft keeping you guys in the air. But this drone right here is definitely going to be a problem coming up. That brings us to JR.
One more time. How do I pivot?
So if you just click on the vehicle, it's going to bring up a blue like rectangular box. Just don't hold it. Just click it lightly. Right? Left click, and then you'll see at the bottom of the box there's a tail. Just hover your cursor over the tail, click and hold, and then you can turn the vehicle however you want.
That's exactly what I wanted to do.
So the plan I'm going to throw to the team is we hover low enough that we can dismount on our hover bikes after we take our shots and make ourselves hard targets as we whack them in small numbers. And then we let Strafe, the competent driver, go full killdozer and smash those bots to smithereens, because I know he knows the best combat role in the Legion, and he can tuck and roll out of this bad boy as he crashes it.
So since you're pitching that, I'm going to bring up, we've got bombs, we've got det cord. Why don't we blow up their vehicle with all the armaments I just pointed out to you guys?
Are you talking about the drone?
I'm talking about the. I'm sorry. Maybe I missed something while I was AFK. Don't they have? Isn't one of their vehicles here?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. I apologize.
Nope. They the vehicles that these guys came in are well away at the bottom of the hill.
Okay.
And they're what do you call it? They're not really an issue for you guys right now.
Okay.
I'm an idiot. I was doing the whole thing that you were doing. Well, I was gonna say, Top Cat. I don't think that would be a good idea if we crash the thing into the drones, because the Legion's going to be coming here, and then they're going to see the crash wreckage, and then they're going to be checking up, like finding out what this is and where it came from, and
Yeah.
We also this is our exfil for the most
So
part.
I'm gonna use my leadership skill set, and I'm going to encourage them to wrap the remaining debt cord around some of our micro bangers to create a bigger bang, and we are going to get our most athletic individual to throw and take out those robots that are the mechanized cyborg things in the middle right.
Okay.
The N209s.
The N209, so we could take those out of the party.
Are any of the fraggers that we have EM fraggers? Because the only ones that I see are banger and regular fragger.
I have regular fragger, but I mean a big enough explosion will do the trick.
Well, I know, but it'll also stun the drones. Is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I don't have any.
I think Firefly might be the only one that has.
Cord?
No, not the deck cord. Do you have
EM?
Do you have EM bangers?
No, I don't.
No. Yeah, you guys.
Those drones, do they hover or are they tracked? They're tracked, right?
They're tracked. Yep. So if you just look at the drone real quick, that's a close up.
Right. Do we have any harpoon tables?
You have one.
What is this, Hoth?
You have one on the repulsor vehicle, but not on the aerial vehicle.
Okay.
Well, I still think blowing up as much of their stuff without blowing us up is the best plan here because it'll also leave the least trace of us being here. So.
Yeah, they
be a
could
part
have
of
just
that
had
plan.
a bad incident, you know.
Mm-hmm,
So
exactly.
debt cord wrapped around some fragger seems to be our best bet to taking those out.
So I'll go ahead and give all my fraggers to
who's got
Firefly.
athleticism of 4 or 5?
Yeah, I'm at 6. Oh
All
no,
right, so
it's not
Slasher-
6 on that one. It's no, I've got 3. That's my
I've got a
best,
2. What do you got, Firefly?
I've got a 2, but besides that mechanism, though, I'm going to want to use tech to aid Brandon because I'm going to be fashioning an aiming mechanism to assist him while they are wrapping this stuff together.
All right. So what about you, Gino? What's your athleticism at?
My athleticism is 3D.
All right. So can you beat that, Strafe?
I don't think Strafe should stop flying the airplane.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Just hop out and just go.
Working on.
All right. So I'm going to use my skill to motivate him to create this improvised explosive device to take out the cyborgs over there.
Don't you mean Firefly? Wasn't she the one that was going to be?
She is assisting Slasher in making and aiming something.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm
it's
basically taking apart Strafe's gun. Don't tell him I did so, and I'm gonna.
All right,
So,
that's
who's
my
the one
move.
that's actually making the fragger bomb?
I'm helping. I'm making. Well,
I
you
mean,
know, on my action, I'm
it
making
doesn't-
the bomb and stuffing the stuff together.
It doesn't take much to wrap some debt cord around a bundle
Okay.
of fraggers. So, what do I need to roll for that to assist him? Their control ops.
You're gonna. Well, what do you mean? Like what skill?
Yeah, what skill would that fall under?
To assist in his throw.
That and
It'll be like the ghost, you know,
Is
holding
there-
his hand.
Is there a
So-
skill in G.I. Joe episodes? Because that.
So
Just
for
knowing is
leadership,
after
I have
that.
2D, and I was trying to use the leadership skill to delegate and pass on
Well,
a strategy.
the leadership skill is a little bit different than the leadership advantage. So with the advantage, you can give him one of your competency dice.
Well, then I'm going to give him one of my competency dices for athleticism. And so that's an extra athleticism dice for him.
All right.
Because that's what's going to be used as a throwing arm.
All right. Let's hit it.
Okay.
So whatever you have for athleticism +1, Gino.
Oh, no,
Brandon,
it's Slasher.
what was your hit?
What's
You're-
that, Alice?
Brandon, you're on a 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I do go before you. Cool.
All right. So
But he's taking my turn, though, so he would still throw now and then get his own turn, right?
No, we're
We're all
assisting
piling
him.
onto my turn to
Yeah,
make
we're
it a
piling
better
on.
turn.
all right,
Okay.
Alice, go ahead.
So I'm going to be, like I said, taking the laser heat heat targeting system off of one of Strafe's guns, and I am applying it basically to the bombs that we're tying together. And I have a question. I have an advantage of Occupation Slicer. Is that supposed to do anything special in this version, or is that similar to how an occupation would be in Heroes?
Yep, same thing as Occupation in Supers.
Okay, so I won't bother working on that. But yeah, I'm going to give him basically a heat signature, a heat radar little aiming system to help him. Okay, let me roll my dice. That's 5d6 and keep highest 3. I give you 1 extra die, Brandon. Sorry, I didn't roll too well.
Okay.
We don't judge.
But that brings you up to like 8 or 9 dice, so you're still good.
All right, what do you got? You launching it?
Is it initiative 10 at this point?
No, Nick is at 11. So, are you doing anything with the craft?
I'm going to go ahead and understand that all the commotion in the back is to make this wacky weapon, and I'm going to understand that weapon, and then I'm going to try to give the cargo door that they're going to throw it out of the best angle to hit that drone. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to side slip the aircraft and try to close on the drone really fast so they get closer.
Awesome. And can you give me a piloting roll to assist him?
You know it.
Can we get Brandon up to 12 dice?
No,
Oh, that would be awesome.
we're nowhere near that.
What? That's awesome.
No.
Oh, no.
He didn't roll keep 3.
That's
He
right.
didn't mark keep 3.
6 plus 4 is 10, 13.
13, so he's still 2 more dice.
I need 2 more dice.
No, he just got 2 more dice from your assist.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, are we up to me?
You're
Yep.
up to you.
You're up to 10
Alright.
dice.
When we do competency dice, you keep those as well, right?
No.
Yes. Well, up to the 3.
Yeah, up to the 3.
Oh, up to the 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying I was rolling 12, keep 3 earlier.
Right, but just also remember you got a threat bonus on those
He
grenades.
he got max.
Whew,
Yeah.
jeez.
There's both my competency dice on that as well.
All right, so he does like one of the one of those like things where you got the epic pullback, right, on the big bundle of grenades, right, and then at the last second he goes like Harlem Globetrotters on it and drops it right on this first gun drone, the one with the track. The grenade bundle goes off in concert with the det cord. Nick, I'm going to need another piloting roll. Well, you can't use a piloting roll because you just used it, so I'm going to need reaction from you to keep the vehicle in the air from the mushroom cloud that explodes up from the ground like a volcano.
Can I assist with my reaction?
Not unless you were that fast. What's your reaction?
4D.
That's actually fast, but you can't resist. I mean, you can't assist with a reaction. So, what's that?
12.
But I have an overall operational awareness, so I would know this was coming.
Try to use academia.
Lala, go ahead.
So can I basically, I have a reaction of 5. Can I basically, since I knew this was going on, get into the systems and get into the systems of our ship and basically give more power to the thrusters immediately with my reaction of 5?
Yeah, if you want to do that, go for it.
Okay.
Why didn't I think of that?
And
Okay,
because of the
because,
reaction, I can keep all. And that's 17.
Dear Lord.
Because you went to a really good academy, Top Cat.
He's a point. So
Because you're not the hacker.
yes, so the engines blow tons of extra power out the back, stabilizing the vehicle from the mushroom cloud that has, in the span of a few breaths, already gone at least 100 meters in the air. There's a pressure wave that goes out from that drone because you cracked its power cell, decimating all of the human troops and shattering a good number of the mechanized troops as well. You only see a couple of stragglers, and they're they're pretty much shell shocked, trying to find balance amidst the chaos you just caused by dropping a grenade bundle onto an unstable power source. Um, the control roll that Nick does serves to get the vehicle at the proper not only height but also angle so that you guys can get have a little more control away from that pressure wave, because there was a small EM pulse that came off that thing as well, deadlining, and as you guys get lower, the 2 additional tracked vehicles that were under this overhang. So the what do you call it? You guys are hovering a few scant meters off the deck, and all you can see are just like broken, battered bodies everywhere.
I activate the external speakers.
You, go for it.
YOLO, losers.
So, can we? Is there any survivors right now besides the 2 bots?
So the 2 bots are broken, and just kind of like not. I mean, they're just crawling around. They're not really doing anything. A lot of their servos and struts are broken. This guy over here, down at the bottom, he was kind of near this low wall when the grenades went off, so he was blown behind it. He's alive, but he's badly hurt from shrapnel. Everything else is dead.
So I say over to Stray Fellow, say there's 1 guy left. Let's just sweep the area with the repulsor vehicle and kind of just give a nice coating of dust over everything, and let's go eliminate this last guy and then bounce out of here.
Sure, let's do it. Or we could grab him. We could
Grab him. Yeah, grab
That
him.
was going to be my recommendation: is that we bag and tag this guy for our superiors, because a lot of shenanigans happen behind the scene with corrupt House of Reason personnel. We probably want to know who they are so we can bag them next.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go ahead and do that.
I'd rather definitely bag him, especially with all the information I got earlier from hacking about our about the big, what it seems like to be a bigger leak than what we were initially told it was going to be.
And you
Does
guys,
anybody have any
let's,
non-lethal rounds?
Let's pull an extreme dust
Street
off.
took away my taser.
what was that, Nick?
Let's pull an extreme dust off and grab that guy. Unless
do
JR
it.
wants to make an academia roll.
Well, actually, I'm working with what I got, but that's a good point. Let me assist his extreme dust off with my textbook reading from academia, and I'm going to roll to assist.
The FM guide to extreme dust offs.
Oh my God!
I make a move, and I'm gonna make a move streetwise using streetwise.
It didn't help.
No, hold on. I'm going to grab the manual that Top Cat keeps referencing and just yeet it out of the thing.
I'm going to make sure that manual hits the induction.
So that'll be
through a million pieces.
so that'll be a 13.
So the manual lands on the wounded, disoriented enemy.
Yeah.
And I turn to Top Cat and I say, "You need to stop. We're in the field now.
Yeah.
We're done with manuals."
I used my hover driving 66 to get a 6, and a 4 for a 16 to eat that induction that manual.
All right, do you guys land to pick up the last survivor?
Yeah, but did the manual actually hit him on the head?
No, the confetti from it hitting the engine hit him on the head.
It sprays across the desert like a bad art house film.
So there is a series, as you guys are landing, there is a series of explosions down the hill, and you see 3 of these small drones. They're about the size of like a Mini Cooper. They're loaded with guns. They fly by you, and you see that all of the troops that were the 20 or 30 troops that were down there in the depression, they're dead.
Let's grab him and go.
All right, so you grab the last lone trooper.
Yep.
All right, and you dust off the area to kind of sanitize things a little bit.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so as the dust clears, you open onto a warehouse with a single light shining down on a trooper that's badly burned, lacerated, and beaten, sitting and tied to a chair. Who goes up to him from out of the darkness?
We're now landed, so I'd say Strafe did so well scaring Mr. Toothless that I want to encourage him with my excellent leadership ability to make the guy wet himself.
What information do you want out of him?
The contents of his soul.
The contents of his soul. How about you, Firefly? What do you want to know from him?
I would like to know who he gets his orders from and basically with their communications protocol, as well as where their base is and any other tech heads that we need to deal with, any other slicers.
Okay.
And what she said.
What she said. Okay, I will enter the darkness and I'll just stand in front of him. Since we're back at base, I'm having a cigar.
Like you should.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's got the hood over his head, so he's very much like, who's there? Hey, I can hear you. I can smell. You're smoking a cigar? Really?
Don't kill him like the last one.
I'm just gonna continue to smoke my cigar.
Okay. He just sits there quietly. He doesn't seem like he's gonna pee himself, but he doesn't seem like he's comfortable either.
Yeah. So then I'll begin, and I'll just say, this is just business, and this is just the way that it shakes out. So you know that, right? You're a pro, right?
Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. And I want you to know it's just business, because I can tell that you're a pro, you're an operator, you're in the game, and this is just how it falls out. This is how it shakes out.
Make an awareness check.
Can I assist?
No.
No.
You're not close enough.
You cannot assist in my awareness. My awareness is pretty good. Let me make sure. What is my awareness? My awareness is vision is 4D, general is 2D.
So you probably if you have a 4D, the other number should be 3D. So that's probably a mistake on my part.
Okay, so 3D?
Yep.
Or 4D?
3D. Damn. Yeah, it's pretty good. You hear the flex cuffs moving in a way that would suggest he's trying to roll his wrists to break them.
Okay. I'm gonna spark my cigar and put it out on his wrist on the inside, right by his pulse point.
He takes a deep, long breath and then slowly exhales, but he does not scream.
Oh man, you are pro. All right, so here's what I need to know. I need to know everything. And you know what? Let's just do away with this. And I pull off the hood and I'm right in his face. And if he even flinches, I bash my forehead into the bridge of his nose. Let's just start with that.
So after the unveiling and the nose smashing, he's doing that thing where he's trying to clear his sinus, where he's like, yeah. And he's like, so you must be a small fish too, because you guys went down my chain of command like it was a military ball and people were looking for fucking donations. He's like, so I'm just a small fish, bro. I'm just a shooter. I was a finger on a trigger. What the hell do you want to know from me?
See, that's not the truth. See, I'm nobody. And I know that in the big scheme of things, but I'm really good at getting people to talk. And here's some information they want to know. And you and I both know that you know it. So this can be easier or it can be harder.
He says,
now you're going to ask me next for what's the way out for me.
He goes, I know the way out. The way out ends with a blaster bolt through the center of my freaking ruined nose. He's like, so just do what you're going to do and stop with the theatrics there, slick. He goes, I've seen it, I've heard it, I've been it.
Yeah.
He goes, and now this was supposed to be an easy gig. He goes, just shoot at some Legionnaires, and, just do away with 6 to 12 guys who just got on the wrong side of the business end of a blaster. He goes,
I put my cigar in my mouth and I cut his flex cuffs off with my karambit. Nah, blaster to the head is the easy way. You and I are going to do this. I'm going to beat the living shit out of you until you start talking. And you're going to get to fight back, but it's not going to do you much good. But I want you to feel what it's like to lose the whole way.
He's like, yeah, we would have worked well together back in the day, but. And he was rubbing his wrist, and he's like trying to pull some of the slough skin from the burn from the cigar off. He's like, I'm not gonna make it easy, bro.
I don't want you to. Right cross.
All right. You have to beat a 13.
Let me see what I don't even know if I should be picking a fight.
Can I assist him in fighting?
Bullshit.
Well, what's your
let's see.
Fighting?
Well, we're gonna. Okay, I've got athleticism. I've got presence. I've got survival. We'll see what we can do with those. So I need to beat a what?
13.
Can I assist with my fighting ability?
No.
Damn it.
I think he's in there on his own, right?
Right now he's in there on his own. So unless you, break the cone of silence and come out of the darkness like, some creepy ghoul from the freaking crypt.
So I'm going to add athleticism to put everything I can into it.
All right. What do you got? A 12? Oh, what happened?
He got a clock.
Oh, you didn't realize that. He just closed his window.
Oh, no. But he got a 12, right?
No, he didn't roll yet.
Here he comes.
All right, so you were doing athleticism in addition to what?
That was totally
in and out of the shadows like crazy. That should freak him out.
So what can I add to athleticism?
No, one roll at a time.
Okay, so let's go with athleticism.
What about presence? Scare the shit out of him.
Well, that you got to choose one or the other.
I'm gonna go with athleticism because I really want, and I need a 13.
Yep.
So it's hard to get on that. Let's see real quick.
You got any competency dice left?
Can I give him a competency dice?
Yes, you could.
No,
I'm going to give you my competency dice.
Okay.
So whatever you do, it's a +1.
Yeah.
And well, hold on. The base competency dice it stays throughout the whole game. You can only use it up to those for each interaction, right?
Okay. So I would have 2 now. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have your regular competency dice. Those reset at the end of every adventure, right?
Okay.
And then you have temporary competency dice, which I can give you. You can earn. You can whatever. Brandon used to get them every 5 minutes for his Baldur impersonations. So the
I got Ragnarok right over there, man.
Oh my
he
God.
didn't seem appropriate. I didn't know if I could play the dog in this group.
Oh, you should have played a dog handler.
Impersonation. I think that there needs to be an explanation because I never knew it was an impersonation.
So
I am Baldur's spirit human.
Yes, but there are temporary competency dice, and those reset either at the end of those you lose at the end of the adventure or at the end of the situation.
Okay. So can I because I want this to come out of nowhere and catch him by surprise because I left the cigar in my mouth, can I use reaction to throw this blow?
No, all the resistances are used to resist only.
Oh, to resist. That's right. I got to get that through my head. All right, let's just go with athleticism, and then I'm actually going to throw in both competency dice on that one.
Hit me.
And I'm going to take JR's too. So I'm going to go for seven dice to just really set the stage on this guy's face. Wait, no. Forget that one.
Oh no.
Forget that one.
Remember, you can do /roll.
Yeah.
7d6 KH3.
That's for smart people.
Oh, here we go. We got something.
That's a
9
9
and 12.
12.
Oh,
Oof.
All right.
there goes your cigar.
So you
Ooh.
throw that. You throw that. That
Haymaker.
that haymaker while having the cigar, and the whole time you just got this shit-eating grin out of your face until you realize his nose is over there. He tries to duck under that shot and go for a heel trip. So he's a
As he
grappler.
should.
What's that?
As he should.
He just got a 7.
Ooh. So I need to.
So he's currently trying to grab around your waist, and he's going to bring you over an extended leg down to your side if you don't do something.
Okay. Let's go ahead and use blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and use survival 3D, or it's a reaction, right?
Yep.
So I can use 4D. So let's. So what's the maneuver he's trying to do?
He's trying to do a heel trip.
Heel trip.
He's trying to throw you and use the concrete as an impact device.
He's trying to. Okay. So the best defense against that is what, Walt?
I would say use your. What's your fortitude?
My fortitude is 2D.
And what's your reaction?
Reaction is 4D.
I would 4D that dude straight into the pavement by himself.
Okay. Let's do that.
So you need to get a 7.
A 7. We can do that all day long.
Oh, if I had a nickel.
That's okay. A 5, a 2, and a 4.
5, a 2, and a 4.
Or 5 and a 3 and a 4.
Yeah, you're straight. So he tries for that hook around the waist, and you just do one of those shimmies where you step behind him, and he basically just straight coccyx bone into the ground and tries to roll out of it. What's your next move?
That's going to cost him, and it's going to be a boot. No, I'm going to break his knee.
Oh, you're gonna curb stomp on his knee?
Yeah, since he's on the ground and I'm up.
All right, go ahead, roll.
What should I roll for that?
Do you have fighting?
I don't. I picked a fight that I'm not even ready to do.
Do you have athleticism?
I haven't used presence yet.
You won't be able to break his knee with your presence, but you could break his spirit with your presence.
I'd like to make him, let's break his spirit by making him go, oh shit, did that cat just put my knee out of joint? Did he just bust my patella? And that was 3D. Sorry, I'm not.
Good. A 6. He does not get a 6. You hear like a popping sound. Like he tried to roll out of that too quick, and he lost traction and popped his knee. He gets this worried look on his face while you're still flaunting your cigar.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely rattled by the fact that that didn't come away like he thought it did. He manages to stand up, and he takes a bit of debris from the floor, like a brick.
Mm-hmm.
And gets a 17.
Pocket sand. Ooh. Do I have the presence just close my eyes and let it float?
I would deflect with something, because the more damage you allow him, the worse off it's going to be for you.
Yeah, that's true. So is this a reaction now?
You could use, because it's the rollover of the turn, you could use your reaction again to try and deflect, or you could use fortitude plus your armor to absorb it.
I'll do that. I'll use fortitude plus my armor to absorb the damage.
So you got 2D for your fortitude.
Okay.
And then you get another 1D, I believe, for the synthprene armor that you're wearing.
Okay.
And he didn't throw it at your face. He threw it at your knee or your groin.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
10.
10. That is not a 17. So that's all right. So now this is where damage comes in for you. You have to determine how you want to take this damage.
Right.
So
he threw it at my knee and my groin.
Yep, and it impacted, and just the way it hit, you weren't armored in that specific spot.
Right.
So it can either be fortitude, in which case you're going to take 2 dice of damage and just be out of the fight. Same thing with your composure. Like, he hit you when you were showboating, and now like you're like, nope, I'm done with this. Nope. Somebody shoot him. You could take it off your reaction, in which case, he hurts your knee, and then you're just not as agile. Or you can take it off your will, where like you're just looking to beat this brother down, but then all of a sudden he hits you back. You might need a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him that. I'm gonna give him will.
All right, so temporarily your will is now 2D.
2D. Okay.
Because he got a really good shot on that one.
Yeah,
All
I'll take it.
What do you do? Are you guys, the rest of you guys, doing anything, or are you sitting in the back, like on your LCOM or on your
I have
NCOM?
my.
Placing bets?
Yeah, I'm placing a bet. I'm gonna say that Strafe is going to decimate him.
Yeah.
I have my MCR Seracom carbine, and I'm just waiting for the need to put a blaster bolt through someone's head.
Okay.
I am.
Notice how I said someone's.
I am not particularly fond of the idea of the type of interrogation they do, given that that's thug work, and that's exactly why I don't do it. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to pull up any information I can on this thug that they are interrogating. Basically, use facial recognition to do a full background check. Family, friends, siblings. Any information that I can get that we can use against him without hurting him the way that they're hurting him. And I am also going to look for any debts, any bank accounts on and offshore, do the full 100%, just go full hog on it.
Gotcha.
I'm waiting to get in there because that thug work, that's my normal deal.
That's my jam.
Yeah.
I'm doing things with a little grace.
Oh no, I'm graceful while I thug. Nobody thugs like me. Don't knock it.
Give Firefly, give me a roll on the technology stuff that you're doing.
Sure.
And Nick, I believe you're up again.
I'll blow a comp die. Actually, it's not worth blowing a comp die for this.
I'm gonna
Hold on a second.
Sure.
I'm gonna use my Streetwise to I guess what is it? Kind of just pray to Oba that that things work out in my favor, and that Strafe has a better chance at hitting the guy and just decimating him.
I don't think that's going to be Streetwise. I'll let you make a will roll. I won't tell you what the effect is, but
okay, yeah, I'll go for
that. If you look like you're needing help, I'll pop in the door by all means.
And just keep in mind, Strafe, you know that Slasher is your resident thug monkey.
Okay. So does a 17 will roll do anything?
I'll let you know. All right, so Strafe, you're up.
Strafe is going to use his presence to fake him out by telegraphing that he's going to go for another hit. He's just going to like lunge at him like this, but he's going to pull up short and slam with his hand into the guy's ear to basically knock him off balance.
Hit me.
So we're going to go with athleticism.
You got a 7 for defending.
Okay, well, I can beat that.
An 8. Yep. He does one of these like self-defense guards where he puts his arm up to try and absorb the blow, but he has his hand up too high, so the space is much deeper than he intended. By the way, people on YouTube are taking bets. Nathan Peed said R.I.P. Nick. So he gets hit in the ear and it definitely rocks him. He trips back down to his knees, and he's like in the midst of getting up, looking for something else to throw at you.
Yeah.
When he doesn't find anything, he picks up the chair. And he gets a 9.
I'll throw my reaction at it.
Okay, so you're dodging out of the way. Your reaction's pretty good too.
4, right?
You got a 9. So yeah, you got a 4D in reaction. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Yep, 12. So yep, you dodge out of the way of the chair.
And I'm gonna burn. Can I hold my well, let's see.
Your action to see what he's doing?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell him something.
Well, have we heard anything from Firefly's investigation role yet to put him off balance? Like, I don't know, your girlfriend Dolores says hi.
What did you get on your?
I got a 10. So, if he's not super hidden, it should be pretty good. I mean, 8 would be, hopefully.
Earlier on in the episode, you guys had a briefing, and in that briefing, you had somebody identified.
Major Trenton.
Major Trenton. And Major Trenton, he was a defector from the Republic Army. While you were going through some of your deal on this, facial recognition popped on this guy. This is Trinidan's son.
Oh. Well, I will definitely inform the team that he is Trenton's son.
So, Nick, you were about to use a... Oh, I'm sorry, what was that?
So he ain't low on the totem pole.
You were going to use a presence attack?
Yeah, I'm going to use a presence attack and just basically remind him that it really sucks to lose, and it sucks to know that you're going to lose.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to get him to like stop for a second and realize that his breathing is out of control, and that, to get him feeling like I might be in a little over my head. The blaster bolt was the easy way, and this cat's not going to make it easy.
All right, hit me. He is going to defend with composure and get a 3.
I will get a 15.
He's got the chair back in his hand again, and he's like you can see he's gauging, right? So he just does one of those things where he's just he's reading your eyes, you're reading his, and then he slams the chair down and he sits in it, very defeated looking, and he's rubbing that knee that he slipped on and that he hurt.
Yeah,
and he's like doing one of those things where he's just like trying to massage some feeling back into that knee.
Yeah.
But he's not up.
He's not up. That's good. He's down. So your dad is Major Triniton, right?
He gets that thing where it's like that oh shit moment. Yeah. When you realize that you shouldn't be playing poker with mirrored sunglasses on.
Yeah, exactly. Cigarette. You want a drag? It's pretty good. It's Cohiba.
He says, he's not gonna fold. He goes, I'm definitely not the oldest son, and I'm sure as hell not the favorite son.
Yeah. Well, there's a way out for you. You just got to tell us what we need to go when we turn you loose. You know how it is. It's catch and release. But it's not going to be easy like a blaster bolt.
And what do you think will happen to you when I am caught and released and my dad finds out that there's a Dark Ops team here? And you can hear across the radio like the entire team like, boo, Dark Ops, screw those guys.
Yeah. Well, just think about everything you just said. Your dad and a Dark Ops team. What do you think your dad's chances of survival are? You're about to be an orphan, but I don't think you're going to be too broke up about that.
All right. So we're playing, and I have cards, and you have cards. So what if I take this the other way? How about you let me go with one of you guys in tow, or two guys, or three guys, or send a freaking bot. I don't care. But I walk. One of you guys comes with me for insurance on your side to know that, or I mean, put one of those fancy freaking bomb collars around my neck or something like that, just to know that I'm honest. And I bring my dad back. I bring him in, and you get him debriefed someplace nice.
What does JR think about that?
You know, catching him would be really nice, and it might get us all a nice Christmas bonus, so we can celebrate Oba in debauchery and style. But you're the one who got your Kelhorn booty kicked, so I'm gonna let you make this call. Do you want to avenge yourself on the man who just threw you around like a rag doll?
Now, keep in mind, right? This dude got blowed up by a grenade, right? But he, after all that damage that he took, he still was able to throw a big honking brick right through Strafe's knee. And Strafe isn't. You guys are all Nether Ops, so you guys are all Dark Operator like level.
So I'm gonna add in to the comms, say, Strafe, you know, I've been betting on you that you're gonna win, but you know, I think we've won pretty good right now. So I think it wouldn't be a bad idea if we go after that deal and just have a little bit of insurance policy on top of that.
So I'm listening to all this over the comm, and I'm nodding so that he knows. And then I look at him and I go, I'm just a little fish. I'm just the message boy. But they think that's a good deal. They're just wondering if you can do it.
Oh, I can do it. But the question is, can you guarantee safety all around on the way back in? Because if I pull Dad off the compound, number one, we need to move right now to do this. Number two, I'm sure that kill team that was following us, they're probably figuring out a way to storm the base right now.
On comms, I say, I'll go with him for security, and I'll step into the room at that point.
Also,
You can take me home to your father and introduce your new girlfriend. I'll go with you.
and also you can let Strafe know, or I'll let Strafe know that, hey, remind him of, everybody that we just fucking eliminated back at his little compound ambush point there. He may have forgotten from the banger.
No, I think he knows. I'm going to toss him a rag and say, clean yourself up. We're going to do this right now.
So it's a deal.
Oh, and just so you know, I'm not the best fighter. If you don't do it, Slasher's going to beat the crap out of you.
And which one of you is Slasher?
You'll find out when you start getting hit.
He starts he's really favoring that burn, right? And he's like, so how do I get this in writing and not little fish writing? I want.
Bullshit. There's no writing. This is your way out. You're not in a position to bargain. You're going to do this right now. We're sending somebody in with you. You're going to wear that bomb collar and you're going to deliver your dad. And if you screw around, the sniper will hit you before he shoots your dad.
There's no need for such brute force. I don't think he's going to get on and off the compound with a debt collar around him. I think that we can go in with a little more grace. If you send me in with him as his new girlfriend, introducing to his father, I think I can get us some information and I can keep him in line. But I don't think you're going to get a debt collar across unless there's new tech that's hiding it a lot better than it used to.
I'm still just staring at this guy.
He just nods and he's like, fine, old way then, old school. And he puts his hand out for a handshake.
Walt, did you just hit the smokiest room in the existence?
No, the sunlight is coming through it's coming through. So the sun's going down and, vampires are coming out. Yeah, mood lighting.
Without guile, I will shake his hand, and then I'll say to him, "You got my word. I'll do my best to get you out of this."
Done. Just make sure my dad doesn't end up more ventilated than my knee or yours. And then the credits roll.
Yeah,
What did you guys think?
I loved it.
It was fun.
Had an awesome time.
So,
Awesome time, lots of fun.
What was the result of my will?
he decided that it was much like the reverse alphabetical order that you decided to decommission their officers in. So even if he beat Strafe, somebody else was going to step into the floodlight. And Strafe's soliloquy made him realize that. Nathan Pete is disappointed. He's like, "Boo! Yes, I wanted real torture." So this is the back half of that other adventure.
Very cool. Yeah.
So you guys dusted off that ambush site and basically turned it exactly how the first Legionnaires found it, right? And that's why those two those two mechs were powered down, because you guys EMP'd them and it took them a while to restart. Very, very cool that this is the back half. And then there is a third part to this, if you guys are interested, where we can do the tracking of the major. Where
Absolutely. I'd also like to go investigate that senator that has been making rounds in places he shouldn't go.
Well, Senator Hakeda, you've heard about him out this way. He's trying to push more and more outer systems to get into the Republic. So that's why he's here. And there's so much Republic interest on this world already. Whatever he's doing and whyever he's financing the Archer Syndicate, the Archer Directorate, it's got to be pretty shady. But the third playtest actually involves a bunch of vehicle stuff. So you would actually get all of those people on the fan club clamoring for Featherhead stuff. They would get their fill finally.
Ooh, nice.
I'm game for it.
So
let's do it.
Some epic rogue squadron stuff. This has been the back half of Operation Raven Spear, and you guys have seen the same mission from the perspective of Task Unit Loki, the Strike Team Echo. We thank you very much for coming out, and before we leave, we have to have the story of Babies with Knives and how the name came about.
That is not a story we're going to air.
So before we let you go, so does anybody have any thoughts on changes of how we played this versus the last time? I thought
I like how we got the character sheet a lot better, more better, straightened out.
I think what I liked is the flexibility, because I think a lot of people want to play Legionnaires, which is very sort of tactical and fun, and that can be fun. But what this showed is a broader depth where you can do top secret stuff, spy stuff. That's always fun. So yeah, and I really dig the sort of how do you call it, cooperative storytelling. That's what I think it makes it really fun. I think it's very cool.
Yeah, and especially when you're dealing with stuff like clandestine operations, much like how Doc is writing right now, and also the stuff with Prisma's father, and how that all went down. You're not dealing with people who are going to go into every situation pulling the trigger. The thing they're pulling the trigger on is people's heartstrings, their vices, their desires. They're getting under their skin and just raking into all those different pieces that really get people motivated to do what you want them to do. And I think that's the other great thing about Super is because you're not just I do the X number of points of damage, and until you got one hit point left, and now you'll listen to me. You have 4 resistances for a reason, and a lot of times you can attack the resistances of composure and will, just like you can the physical resistances. So, in a dark operations sense, the game really makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's the cool part that rounds out the actual space opera stuff. Instead of like, you're exactly right. Just when it becomes a numbers game of hits and reducing someone down to 1, and then -10, and then they'll talk. That's not fun. No, I dig it. I love it. Sorry if I'm too violent. I have a tendency to be too violent, but ask anybody who reads my books.
So Nick, what did you think about not being the guy in charge this time?
I like that, because it's fun to watch other people make decisions, and I don't know, it was just fun to play the small fish and kind of just
sit back and step on the gas.
Yeah, run your own lane. That's the fun part.
So from someone who designed the system, Walt, what did you think of our efforts to use the leadership system? Because I'm still a little confused on that. But I think as we play it more, that'll clear out.
I think your creative bribery of the system is fantastic. The thing about leadership that makes it such a desired trait for a character, you have leadership, which is the attribute, and then you have leadership, which is the advantage.
And I don't know what the difference is.
So the advantage of leadership allows you to take competency dice you've earned and pass them to your subordinates. It's just like in the first Captain America movie. Not the first Captain America, the first Avengers movie. Captain America lands on the hood of that car and he yells out, "Hey, I need you to do this. I need you to do that," right? And everybody's just looking at him like, who's the freaking idiot in the tights, right? And all of a sudden, he whips the crap out of like 4 aliens, knocks blasters aside, and saves 4 people. And suddenly, that cop is looking at him like he just walked across water and multiplied fish. And he was like, "Okay, we need you to go down to 7th. You clear the subway." And she starts repeating orders, and that's how leadership works in the game. You do something dramatic, heroic, or whatever, and then you say, "All right, this is what I need you to do. Here's a competency die for you. You get one. You get one. You sucked last time. I'm keeping it away from you." It allows you to delegate extra competency dice to those people in those roles, which is cool. And then leadership, the skill, the aptitude is a little bit different. It allows you to know situations where you're going to be most effective, and so will your subordinates. So it's kind of like when Firefly was in the room and knew how to disable countermeasures and control equipment. That's her lane. She can do that, and leadership does the same way on the opposite side.
So when I see on the character sheet, if you could pull up one of them where it's got on the middle, on the far right, where we've got that competency dice, our base competency of 2, that's the ones you can delegate as a leader?
Yes.
Can't you share those anyway? So what makes that special?
No, you don't.
How much leadership did a person have? Because I thought I heard that they had 2 dice in the advantage of leadership, which gives them 3 competency dice in the superheroic version that they can only give out to other people at that point.
Yes.
So I played it wrong. Okay.
Yes. No worries.
Okay.
But I mean, the benefit is like he was just saying, you can give these out because that's how you roll. You're not the guy doing the punches. You're the guy in the corner directing the guy who's doing the punches.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why when I did that with the made-up bomb, it worked better than what we had been doing before. That's the difference.
Yeah, because you're supposed to be sitting there. You're supposed to be. You're like the lieutenant. You're saying, "Hey, listen, this is what I need you to do. You to do. You to do. Go do it." It doesn't matter how they do it as long as it gets done. But the fact that you're delegating the authority for them to do it shows up in how the skill is run.
Yeah, and like in a certain term, you're buffing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when are we going to get a military games week on Babies with Knives?
Like I've said, we would love to have you guys come on and do Galaxy's Edge or the other stuff with whenever. Just let us know and we'll schedule something.
Oh, that'd be badass.
So
Absolutely.
It was really nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you as well,
Awesome to
Nick.
play with you guys.
Yeah, it was
fun.
awesome, great, awesome playing with you guys. And Walt, I gotta say though, you have a very interesting way of handling my my tech. versus some other GMs, because I have GMs who simply ban me from playing the really I can go anywhere kind of character, which in this kind of situation is the hacker, or in other games there are other situations. But you just kind of would put me on pause until you could think of an answer for me. Like, oh crud! And then you just put me on pause, and I'm like.
That's because Walt's actually a good GM. Very few GMs can actually do that kind of stuff. It's a very good skill.
Never ban creativity.
Yeah.
Walt knows me very well, and so when he gave me this, I'm like, "Are you sure you're willing to put yourself through this?"
Are you kidding? I mean, if somebody hands me a Ferrari, I'm not going to drive 25 miles an hour. You're going to open it up. You're going to let all 12 cylinders cough as hard as they can, and then burn rubber until the tires fall off.
Well, I like to play characters that can go outside the box, so I have a lot of fun. Thank you.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming out, and we'll catch you next time.